Dog, I had to yeah, we live. I like to start the show live like this sometimes because I be doing crazy shit. I done got the wires crossed. This is why y'all see this flashing in my thing. Hold on. Yeah, the wire for the ring light got caught up in my headphone wire.
I tell you, never know what
Dog,
you're gonna get.
bruh, it's like I had everything set up like for the last like 20 minutes. And then I finally was like, oh, let me enter the studio and set the title and all of that shit, send the invite and all of that stuff. And then I was like, man, this air fryer taking a long time to warm up these egg rolls, but you know how shit go.
Yes, sir.
But y'all also know how we like to get the show started, especially during football season. We only got a couple weeks left, so let's go ahead and kick it off.
Hey, man. We
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache.
Hey, I had to bring
He
this one in this
growls
week
as he
because it's gonna
storms the
be
country,
cold as
a
fuck
villain big and bold,
this
hey,
weekend.
bro.
and the trees
Are y'all getting that same weather we getting?
Yes, bro.
as he robs them of their gold.
Yes.
It's like
The
from.
autumn wind
It's
is
really from where y'all
enraged,
at,
pillaging just for
all
fun.
the way up to
He'll
like
knock
New
you
York.
around and
It might be
knock you
Bruh,
further past
down
New York
and
too.
laugh when he's
bruh,
conquered and won.
the only counties locally that don't have the the winter warning are the ones like right on the coast
Uh,
and then like a little bit further west.
that's crazy,
I want to
bro.
say it's like you got to still be like Austin, San Antonio, or just past them to not be in that warning
Bro,
down
that
here.
I when I seen the map and it was like from y'all, or it might have been a slight bit past Texas, but it was like
Yeah,
literally
bro.
the going all. I'm talking about like Florida, Georgia,
Yes.
Mississippi, Alabama,
Wait.
all of
Oh, here
that
it goes. Here it goes.
is about to be cold as fuck.
I'm trying to. I forgot to bookmark it earlier, but I had
I was
saw it
looking at
on
it.
like one of my apps, one of my weather apps, or something like that. And I got to re-download the one that like the insurance people and them be using the damn what is it, the NOAA, their maps and shit, because that's like the National Weather Service and stuff. But it's basically like a cold front that's coming from like Canada up north, like above the border. Like that front is starting somewhere up north and it's like slowly moving like southeast kind of.
But you know what's crazy? We're getting, if it is snow or not, it was
Hmm.
literally like we were getting the worst of it. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
everybody else isn't. Virginia is getting like the
yeah, for sure.
worst of that whole thing.
Yeah, it shit is crazy, bro. It's like it, and I made sure like I went to the grocery store today and I got a couple of little extra things in the grocery store because I got shit here in the freezer and everything. So
Yeah,
like I'm
same.
good, but if like I may go tomorrow and get a couple more things or
I need to
whatever
go get
just to
like
be
some
sure.
bread from somewhere because we did Walmart delivery today, and like
Hmm.
dude was like, it won't no bread. Like the bread he was trying to give us, I ain't never heard of that shit. I was like, nah, we
Bro,
good.
that's why
I go
like
find something from somewhere.
I was gonna go yesterday or
I should have.
Monday. It
I
was
should
one
have.
of them days. Like
I
Monday,
wasn't
I
thinking about
decided
it
not
for
to
real.
go, and I should have went yesterday. But after I had finished cooking, I was like, "Nah, man, my knees hurting again. I'm just gonna chill." I ended up not going. So like earlier, I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna just get up and go." And it started raining, and I sat down. I was like, "No, I have to go." As soon as I heard that rain wasn't trickling no more, I was like, I was
Listen,
gone. I was out the door.
it's gonna be crazy. I'm
I was
interested
out the
because it
door.
keeps changing. Because now it's some. I think earlier Shaw was telling me it's showing rain or something now. Like it's still supposed to snow Saturday, but then
Hmm.
Sunday is like an ice storm now or something like that. Which is actually
Yeah,
worse. I would much rather have snow than an ice storm
yeah. See, the thing
because
is,
ice
like,
storms knock out power and shit.
yeah, like that's what they're saying here, like that we may get some of that. It's not gonna be as bad as it was last year with the snow, but they saying it's the freezing rain and the sleet
Mm-hmm.
that could have the ice that
Because
could
that's
weigh
what
down the
always
power lines and stuff.
I was gonna say that knocks out power more than the snow does for real.
Right, right.
So
So that's the thing. That's the only thing I'm really like kind of worried about. You know what I'm saying? Is just that knocking out that power and everything. So I'm gonna probably be making ice all night, all day the next couple of days, just to make sure I got a little bit of extra to
yeah,
start filling up my cooler just in case. Cause I don't think it's gonna be too bad. It may be kind of
I don't
bad, but
think so
hopefully
either.
we get back online quickly if we do lose power. Praying that we don't, but if we do, I mean, I just hope it's restored quickly. That's all.
Yeah, hopefully they prepare for this stuff, especially y'all. They prepared because I remember that last time there was no preparation and
Bruh, the
y'all
the
was out
worst.
without the last two times actually. I remember last year we were talking about
Yeah,
it, and then when
yeah.
y'all had that real big one a couple years ago,
The
um,
one 2021 or whatever. It was
yeah,
2021. That
that knocked
one,
the entire grid out.
bruh, that one, I didn't have power for a couple days.
That one was just poor preparation on like the governor and all them because
Exactly. It cause
they knew that one was coming and they
bro, the
just
one last year seemed like it was worse than 24 or 25. I'm sorry, seemed like it was worse than 21.
yeah, and they were
And
better
I was like,
prepared
wait
last
a
year at
minute.
least.
Bruh, I'll never forget. Like the Facebook memory popped up earlier, actually, and that was the picture that I posted before it even got piled up and got hot. The other picture that I took, it was worse than that. It was way worse than that. And that's kind of like that was when people was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, now I see like the yard and this and that." And I was like, "Yeah, see what I'm talking about, all that fence and all that grass and stuff. Like I hate that shit. I just
Hey
had to
man,
fix the fence the other day."
side note before we get into like the sports, I am getting into European wrestling a little bit more now, man.
You
I'm a
Kuro and
hey,
Ricky Sosa.
hey, let me tell you something. I was hip to Kuro for I've been hip to Kuro for about maybe 2 months now.
Mm-hmm.
About I'm still pretty new to him. Ricky
Yeah.
Sosa, I'm probably about 2 weeks in. That
Mm-hmm.
thing, bro, I like that little his entrance. I've watched like two of his matches, and the young man's good. I see it. He definitely
Kuro is
has
the
like
one I believe has the
Kuro
like
is great.
Mobamba entrance, and Sosa has like the Chief Keef type entrance, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
Sosa's is like he said it's a song. I was watching the interview a
I
little while
can't
ago. He said
remember the bro. I just was
it's a song
watching
he
it
did in
like
the studio. It's
yeah, and
his is more original. And then hold on, I'm
yes,
looking right at it. Um,
if you go back to the chat and peep the videos though, like you could get those vibes from those two songs.
yeah, Kuro's is the Mo Bamba.
Yeah,
It's the aura with it. Like I'm watching it now. It's the way he like in the entrance, then he walk out smooth with it. Like, yeah, protect them
yeah,
two brothers
dog.
at all costs, man.
That
Like
they,
that.
I've been on them probably a little bit less than you have, maybe a little bit less time than you have, because I know I noticed them like within the last 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, they
I know
both
it's been at
going
least 2 weeks,
crazy viral right
and
now.
I was
Like,
like, oh shit, like, and then I saw like clips of them wrestling, and it was one match that one of them had against. I don't know if they wrestled each other or if one of them wrestled another dude
nah,
or
they
something
were
like that.
tweeting each other today though. I was peeping it. I follow both of them
One of
on
them
the
had a match where his entrance was dope and his opponent's entrance was dope too.
mm,
And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, man, those two guys for sure, like
yeah, protect those brothers at all
definitely two guys that
costs.
I want to see. And I was happy also, while we in the weeds of it, I was also happy to see Darius make an appearance on TNA. I didn't see it, I didn't watch it yet because I'm trying to catch up on it. But
Yeah. Because he been signed with them for a
I
while.
saw the clip. I saw the clip earlier, like a couple hours before
Only
we started.
only thing I do not like about Darius joint, I just don't. I love UK drill music. I just don't like his songs, like his interests. I feel like if he
Yeah.
changed it a little, I
Hmm.
get the 0121 because this is it's the back home joint.
Right.
But that's the only thing I like him in his in ring. Like I think he's real dope.
Yeah.
He's another one that's him. What's old boy that WWE using right now? Leon
Leon
Slater.
Slater.
Like
Yeah.
UK has some dope young black talent for real.
Bro, we saw Slater and Derice one-on-one
Mania
ringside.
weekend. It was Mania
Yes.
weekend, right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
bro, at Ashe. Bruh.
I remember.
Then we saw Slater again at the GCW fourth rope for the culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was the match where you know how he does the hop over the turnbuckle and the post spot to the outside.
Yeah.
Okay, he like scraped the post and had a big ass red welt on his back, like early in the match, and wrestled the
Mm.
whole rest of the match with that big ass like thing on his back, dog.
Here he go with that shit. Let's go, Pats. Nigga, go back to TikTok live. Damn it. Come in here and
Yeah, he
piss me off.
did. He wrestled like a couple. It seemed like it was one. I know it was one of those days. He had two different appearances. I know for sure. But yeah,
Mm.
man, the scene is healthy. It's great. It's
Nah,
good
it
to see
really
a lot
is.
of youngins coming up. And it's good to see them getting put on like in a major way in major companies and stuff. Bro, we gonna get to that, man. Relax. Like chill.
This
Yeah,
ain't a wrestling
he did a
show.
bunch. He did like I want to say he did like four. I think you're right, Dre. I think he did four or maybe five shows that weekend. I know
Oh,
one
that's
day I
crazy.
think he had two bookings. But they bro, like this is why what's her name? Maya World won Indie Wrestler of the Year for Fightful. Bro,
Mm.
Maya had, I kid you not, I think like six bookings that week between Thursday and Sunday. I want to say she had like six. It could have been Wednesday to Sunday or whatever, or the Monday. Maybe. Bro, she had like five, six bookings that week. Like, home chick was grinding.
Mm. It was something else before we get into sport. Oh, yo, shout out to
Yes,
our sister
big
Mika
time.
and
Oh,
Lucia on their new show, BRP. 30-minute time limit. First debut episode was today. I peeped like everybody else. Very dope episode. Introduction to both of them to people who don't know both of them. So definitely peep that episode, get to know them before they get into you know, really talking wrestling next week. Very, very dope show. Shout out to the ladies. We'll probably try to have them on here soon, do a little crossover type thing. Um,
for
we
sure.
know Mika knows sports. We might, do somewhere we see what Lucia know in sports and everything. But yo,
I
definitely,
think
definitely dope.
I know she's gonna be good for the conversation, bare minimum, because she does like cosplay and stuff and things like that.
Yeah, I
So
peeped. I peeped.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I know she does a bunch of different stuff. So she should be at least good for the definitely good content. But yeah, man, definitely shout out to them. Um
Always got
man,
to shout
there
sis
we
out.
go. Want to put them out. Wait, hold up. Hold up. There you go. Want to put them on the screen. That's their Twitter handle for y'all to follow. It's at 30MTLBRP, all caps. At 30MTLBRP. So go ahead and definitely follow their new page. Again, man, shout out to them. Major move for sis and shout out to BRP.
Facts. Facts. The good brothers over there at BRP,
For sure, for sure. That's family. Like for real,
which
for
my I'm
real.
about to say which my good brother right here is a part of also.
That's family. Like, but yeah, man, shout out to them, man. I can't wait to see what them girls got cooking, because those ladies got cooking, because I already know like they gonna be solid whatever it is that they do.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
Um,
fun every week. And I like that. I like that concept of like it gave me some ideas for some stuff I got coming up. I ain't gonna lie, I had text Mika and told her I might have to steal that 30-minute. Like I like because I'm like her, and you know this, like I go off on tangents. So I got like somewhere I'm like 30, 45 minutes or somewhere. I gotta like get everything out in that. It might be a little better. So I like that though. That 30-minute, and then because I mean a lot of wrestling, you don't have to have these hour long, 2-3 hour long shows when everybody's doing that. A quick little 30-minute
mhm,
recap. Like she said, they're not touching the mainstream or the Fed. So it's like AEW, International, the Indies. It is not something going on every week. So it's really
Right.
just like a little AEW recap. And if there's an indie show or something, boom,
Hmm.
in and out. So I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely. And the good thing about it is like knowing them,
Marty, what up, Marty?
they actually watch those products and are into those products and go to those
Yes,
shows and stuff.
which makes it way
So
better.
that
Way
that
better.
to me is the best thing because it's not just people that's just, oh, let's put out some content. No, they're actually going to these shows, watching these shows, actively following this stuff, and so they'll be able to give you a much better insight than somebody who's just scrolling through Twitter and re
Going off of what they see.
regurgitating the yeah, regurgitating the same thing that they see, just wording it differently and posting
Yep.
different pictures and stuff like that, videos or
Genuine
whatever.
content from how
Right,
they feel and what they think and their
right,
thoughts.
right.
So yeah. Like
Yeah,
us.
definitely shout out to them. Bingo. Speaking of, man, like,
Final
so,
four.
bro, we down to it now.
I
It's
can't
nitty
lie.
gritty time right now.
There's only probably one team in this final four I saw being here, and
Who
that's
that?
the Seahawks. They're the only, and from me on my side, that's the only team I saw being here. Even though all four teams, I ain't gonna say the Rams. I think everybody had a different, probably NFC team at the end. Maybe the Bears, probably was the Bears or us, but um, I think for the most part, the general public for the most part had uh Pats and Broncos because of how the season's been going. Um, I'm not sure who I had AFC wise. It wasn't them though. I really had the Bills. I really had Bills Pats. That's what I thought it was gonna be. Um, that Bills implosion this season. I'm of
Well,
the I'm of the giving rope still, even though it was a great game with them and the Broncos. I felt like the Broncos should have dominated more because the Bills had less. Like they were missing so much. And it wasn't like it was like one or two. It was like a lot of key pieces on both sides of the ball. Josh Allen put the team on his back. Some mistakes were made, of course. He didn't have the best of receivers. And from that, Sean McDermott ended up getting fired. Uh, I understood that and don't understand that all at the same time. Because it's really been the same thing season after season. Injuries,
mm-hmm.
injuries, and injuries. So it's but it's an interesting final four. It's a cakewalk for the Pats. Because Jared Stidham, I mean, I'm glad you have faith in Stidham.
No, he
Mika,
said he
speaking
has
of the
zero
devil.
faith in Stidham.
Okay. I've read that wrong. Zero faith in Stidham.
He said
Mika, you
zero
missed what
faith.
we gave you hella flowers. Mika, you missed it.
Hell
Hella
yeah.
flowers. Big roses.
Sure did.
Stidham, I don't know. Stidham might shock everybody. You never know. We seen Nick Foles come in and win a Super Bowl.
Hey,
So you never know.
yeah, you really don't know. And my thing is the only difference I had here was I thought the Texans defense was gonna beat the Patriots. But I said if they end up losing, it was gonna keep turning the ball over.
I've seen so many people talking about having
Is what
different
they did.
I've seen so many different debates over the last couple of days about the Texans and D'Amico and CJ. CJ had a bad performance. I don't think CJ can duck this one. That was just a horrible performance. Horrible. We're in year 3, going into year 4 next year, and I don't know. D'Amico, I think we can give D'Amico. I don't really want to put it on him. He did great this season with what he had. He also went through a lot of injuries throughout the season. Starting running back went down early in the season. You've had receivers in and out. CJ hurt. Davis Mills came in and won them a lot of games and kept them alive. And then CJ finished it down the stretch. CJ, on the other hand, we might. I'm thinking another season or two, and we got to start looking at. First off, I know I was
No,
missing
we're
last
not
week,
gonna
but we ain't gonna do that. It's a whole new week.
we're
We
not
ain't got
gonna
nothing to
we're
talk
not
about.
gonna look at we're not gonna look at here's the thing, because I've seen this and
Because
I've
next
gone
season,
back and forth with this about a bunch of Texans fans this week.
I've
And
seen
last
that a lot. A lot of people were debating on that.
so he was ass in 2 playoff games. One they was able to fade it, the other one they wasn't. But I also tell people, okay, yes, but look at all the changes that he's undergone in his first 3 seasons.
Stand by the fact that the Texas play Davis.
And here's another thing. No, they wouldn't have. He sound like one, huh? A Mills fan. There's a lot of them out there that's like that in the Texas fan base. Like the
I mean, it's a
fan
lot of
base,
people that probably feel that way.
bruh, is
I
crazy.
think Mills is a better game manager in a sense, as far as like not.
Yeah, the thing is, bruh, I keep telling people if he was so much better than CJ, he would be playing.
No. CJ's better. CJ's the better option. But I'll say it's always sometimes one quarterback can do, and we saw it when Davis came in this season. It's and we saw it with the Ravens too with what's his name?
Tyler Huntley?
Yeah, with Tyler Huntley. It's just certain
Mhm.
things they do in the offense. They come in a little calmer, and the one thing that's in their mind is don't turn the ball over.
Mhm.
No matter what you do, manage
Yeah.
the game and don't turn the
Mhm.
ball over. So where your starting quarterback should have that same mindset, of course,
Yeah.
but sometimes they don't. So it's that backup is always coming in with a little more instead of that urgency. Damn, that
Mhm.
was good. I didn't think about that. Tyler Huntley is definitely a great example of that also, where they understood, just like Davis Mills. If do I think the game might have looked a little better? Maybe. But sometimes CJ does things that not even sometimes CJ does things that Davis can't do, especially with his feet, that
Mhm.
extends the field and the play and keeps y'all in. So it's it's always gonna be a talking piece and a think piece. So
Yeah, people gonna always talk about it and everything. And like I tell them, like if he was that much better and he was gonna be that guy, he'd be in the game. He'd be the starter. Because even though CJ was the number 2 overall pick, his salary isn't prohibitive of them putting his ass on the bench if they had somebody better than him.
exactly. There's a lovely sighting.
So yeah, he
I
came
just saw
through.
that.
And so it's like I
Tone, what
just
up, brother?
it's just funny to me, man, when people be saying stuff like that or they feel or believe stuff like that. Cause I'm like, if the motherfucker would have played better, he'd be in there. And this is why we need to talk about Josh Allen. Cause he was ass in that game.
Was he
He,
ass though?
bro, all
That
them
last interception went on him. The last
okay,
one was not on him.
same thing. This one of CJ's wasn't on him. One of
I
them.
give you that. I give
He
you that.
threw 4, but one of
That
them wasn't his.
that last one, Josh threw though, that was kind of like a 50-50 toss up on what the refs really wanted to call, because they easily could have said he was down. As they called it, it was an interception.
Mhm.
It was one of them
Yeah.
50-50 joints. Like, I see Josh put it where it needed to be. You could almost say the receiver on strong. You really could put it more on the receiver that he was just a weak ass bitch.
Mhm.
I ain't gonna lie. Anytime a nigga rip the ball out your hands with one arm, you weak as hell. So
But still, it
there's
was
that.
like when they showed the play and then you rewatch it and to know that they reviewed it and still ruled that it was an interception, even though he
It's
was down.
crazy.
That I was like, but he's down though. Like right
He was
there, he's
down.
down.
I mean, I was yelling at the TV like, he's down. What are y'all
Like,
doing? Like, I'm
like
at
when
home and can see he's down.
while they're reviewing it, I'm looking at we looking at basically the same thing, and everybody, oh yeah, he
We
caught it,
seeing the
he's
same
down.
thing they saw. He's down. How
I
do
was
you
like,
say?
what?
Because
Oh
the other
wow,
guy ended up coming out with the ball in his hand,
bro,
but I'm
that
like,
shit was
he
wild.
didn't secure
That
it even
was
when he came out.
wild.
He secured it going
That was
down.
wild.
I don't know. It was crazy.
That was wild.
I mean, of course, that was the deciding factor, of course. And like I said, for me, Josh put the entire team, defense included, on his back and was doing a lot. Also, the run game. James Cook was balling. He was running all over the Pats.
Yeah, he
50-50
was.
balls don't go to the offense anymore. Interception. Dre, be quiet. You wanted him to lose anyway. Your biasness to Josh
Exactly.
Allen is killing me
Exactly.
right now.
Stop it. Stop being such a fan. Damn it. So emotional.
Your biasness is killing me right now. Nah, James Cook been balling since last year. If you really ain't realize, people forget he came in third in the rushing race last year behind Saquon and Derrick Henry.
And the
And then
crazy
this
thing about
year
it was
he cooked even more.
he had a shitload of he had like I think 18 touchdowns last year. Something
Mm-hmm.
crazy like that. Like
Because they had no
looked,
receivers last year either.
wait a minute. James Cook scored a lot of damn touchdowns.
They had no receivers last year.
Yeah.
And then this year, they come in with no receivers again. Then Keon Coleman disappears, which he did step up a little bit more in the game last week than he has all season. He just had a really bad, this is what, year 2? Yeah, really, he just had a bad sophomore year. His rookie year was good. It was decent. I ain't gonna say it was great. It was decent. And then yeah, I saw the comments that they made about Keon today, and I feel like unless you go cut him or something, you don't make those comments. Not out loud. You talk about that to yourselves maybe, but that's not good, especially with, I'm sure his confidence already had been low this season with how his production was coming into year 2. I don't.
Is like he had a maturity problem this year too.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So I might be with you on that one. Coleman might be a bust. It's year 2, so I don't want to put that word on him yet. Sometimes you got to wait till year 4. Sometimes by 3 you can really tell for real. But he might need to change the scenery. The Buffalo may not be it. He might need to go somewhere with a harder coach. That's gonna be on his ass more.
Well, we gonna see
Sean McDermott
hiring business right now since they got rid of McDermott. So
I mean that job. So that job should be Joe Brady's job. Like, if you want to be honest, Joe Brady has been head coach in the conversations every year, and now the head coach of the team he was just at. That literally, now does he want the job? That's the question. But that should be his. I would love for him to come to Philly as the OC, but I if he has that opt to be a head coach, take it. You're familiar with the team, you're familiar with the offense and defense. It's a perfect situation for you, to be honest, just to slide into. So some of these other we're gonna talk about that at the end, but some of these other hires have been interesting.
The other
too.
thing is
Coleman might be wise, but also
what you call it? Brian Daboll has like a connection with Josh Allen.
Hey, Daboll. So, all right. Daboll is interesting, right? Because we saw his time with the Giants.
Because remember, he was the offensive coordinator.
I'm still tripping that he even got fired this season. I'm thinking I think it was more because of everything that happened with the Jackson Dart concussion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything else. But I'm like, once Jackson Dart started, once he got Scatterbo, before he got injured, they started cooking. Even though they were losing, they lost some of those games. It looked great. Like it was a great looking loss, if that makes sense.
You lost Malik Neighbors in like week 3.
Yeah, so I'm like, I think if they would have gave Daboll one more season next year with the health and the draft picks that they got with those top picks, I think he really could have did something in New York, like the basis of starting something with that young core.
Yeah.
Of course, now they got Harbaugh, and I'm on the fence about that because there's a Harbaugh. I'm in these Raven spaces and I listen, and I hear what they as fans say. But then it makes a lot of sense of what they say when you look over that 18-year tenure, right?
Mm-hmm.
One Super Bowl, a lot of consistency with the playoffs, of course. but it's a lot of holes, and them holes is not small. It's some big
Bro,
holes.
listen, let me tell you something.
I
If
don't
a
know.
coach is there for 18 years,
Well,
he
the
made the
owners.
playoff 12 times. Like, come on, man. Like,
How many conference how many conference no Super Bowls, one Super Bowl in that time. After that Super Bowl, it was what two how many conference championships was I mean conference championship games because it was a lot of divisional losses. A lot. Because they were losing to the Bills and the Pats. I mean not Bill well, Pats when Brady was there, but then once Mahomes kind of came in and took over, they were losing to the Chiefs and the Bills a lot in the divisional. I think they made it to the. I don't think they've ever made it to the AFC Championship, have they? I think it was
mhm.
like one time, like once under Lamar. I think it was once. Other than that, it's been like hella divisional. So I understand the firing now, but I also think that probably should have happened about 5 or 6 years ago, also. So it's like, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was like since the Super Bowl, I thought it was just that one AFC Championship appearance, and then it's just been a lot of divisional I understand why the Ravens got rid of him. I also understand why any other team would want to bring him in. Same with Tomlin. Tomlin, even though Tomlin, I think Tomlin's going the cower route where he's just going to either go into media or fall back into obscurity, which is fine. He had an amazing 20-year career. Amazing. Same with, I mean, no different than Harbaugh. Very consistent uh seasons. I think he's a great coach. I think
My
he would
only
be better
question
with a
is when you have a coach that's that good and that consistent over an extended period of time, and then you decide to get rid of him,
what's next.
you gotta hit a home run with your next one, or you're gonna look stupid.
Yeah, but
And
we
it's
also
like
didn't. But how many
you,
people knew Mike Tomlin was going to be what he was? Like, to be completely honest,
no, the thing
like,
is like it wasn't knowing what he was going to be when he first got the job. It's the man y'all wanted the man out after like damn near like right at 20 years being there.
who?
Tomlin.
Tomlin.
The same
I
thing with Harbaugh. Harbaugh been
I'm
there
gonna be honest.
18 years.
I didn't see Tomlin leaving. Tomlin stepping down was actually shocking to me personally because of the season they had. This is the best season they've had in a while. So, like, I
Hmm.
was very shocked that he decided to step down after this, especially. I think the only thing that's with the Steelers is they need to go get more receivers. And is Aaron Rodgers staying for one more, or are they officially starting the rebuild with quarterback?
They've already
The
put
great
out a statement. There's been a rumor said that they take him back if he's coming back. Like that was something that
Oh,
was put
Rodgers,
out
I
there.
would too.
Yeah,
Rodgers had a
within the
great
last
year.
few days. Want to
Yeah,
say it
yeah,
was
right.
yesterday or something like that. I saw
Aaron
that.
had. I'm gonna be honest. This was one of Aaron's best seasons. He did amazing with nothing. If you want to be, he had nothing but tight ends. And DK, he had a
Yeah,
great run game with Warren, but it was like DK and tight ends.
but this is the thing though. Like with that whole situation, it's another thing where
Steelers don't fire coaches.
you want to get to a point where well we need to get over the hump. We need to get over the hump. Okay, well you have
Mm-hmm.
to find somebody
To
that
get you
can
over.
do what that previous coach did, but better. And the odds say that you will not find something better than what you had.
Yeah, it's rare. I mean, they did. I mean, they had Billick, and then they get Harbaugh. Um, Hell, I didn't even realize that the Ravens have only had three head coaches in their history. Also, Harbaugh was the third, and then he had the longest tenure. Billick had the second longest, and then the first coach was only there for like a season and a half or something like that.
Hmm.
And then Billick came in, and then Harbaugh's now. So this is only their fourth head coach. They also are new to, just like the Steelers. Steelers only had three in there. Was it no? Yeah, four.
I think it was one before Chuck Noll, then it was Chuck Noll, then Bill Cowher, then Mike
Yeah,
Tomlin.
the one before Chuck Noll was only there. Same thing. It was like
Yeah,
maybe a
he was
season
only
or
there for
two.
like a handful of seasons or whatever, and then Chuck
Yeah,
Noll came
short
in and took
tenure. Then
over.
Chuck
Yeah.
Noll. So same thing. Neither one of them are used to the head coaching search, so they're definitely going to take their time.
Hmm.
And neither one of them have gotten it wrong so far when they've done their due diligence. But those But I
Right.
will say with the Steelers, that was under the old regime, and now we're dealing with the kids now, and it's different than same thing with the Raiders. Like it was different under Al. Then his son takes over, and it's been a little different since then. So a lot of times the kids don't get it right.
No, 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 no. And I mean, the thing is like you
That
want
Raiders
to.
job, I actually love the Raiders job too. And I've been saying this, and nobody agrees with me. I'm more of a builder. I like the rebuild thing. I like some of the bones that the Raiders have, the run game, the tight end. I love Brock Bowers. Um, I like that one wide receiver, Trey Tucker. I like Trey Tucker. That O line needs a little work, and then of course that defense got to get revamped. But if Davis is willing to work with his next head coach, if and so far he hasn't, if he's willing to work, that is a good little it's a good rebuild spot for the right coach and GM because it's got to be a team effort, of course. But
Yeah, I just think that all with all these openings and stuff, if
it's a
the
lot.
teams make the right
Miami,
hires and whatnot, like there's gonna be some turnover and whatnot. We
that
saw
Miami one is
earlier,
weird.
no, it was yesterday that Mike McDaniel was gonna take the OC job with the Chargers now.
I'm not mad at him for that. I'm not.
So, because if you believe the report that came out, I believe it was Sunday or Monday, he was actually they said that he would take a more attractive OC job if he didn't get offered the right head coaching position.
Which makes sense because if I mean, everybody knows the Steelers and the Ravens are probably the best two in Atlanta. So once Atlanta came off the board and then New York came off the board, well, New York also. Um, so you got Steelers left and you got Ravens. If he didn't feel confident coming out of those meetings, then it was okay. We got the Chargers, we got the Eagles, we got OC jobs. Those are probably the best two OC jobs on the market as far as what I could see. The Giants one also, but I'm pretty sure Munkin is coming in. I think the Giants are going to end up bringing Munkin in at OC. The Seahawks OC job could be open because I'm pretty sure Kubiak is going to the Ravens. I'm pretty sure that's what they're waiting on. Um, so then the OC job for the Seahawks is about to open up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot that's out there that's interesting. I like them. I don't like the Miami job too much because of the Tua situation. And I don't like Cleveland because of the ownership,
Here's
not
the
the
thing
team. I
with
like
Miami
Cleveland.
and
I love Cleveland for the team though, a
with
lot.
Miami and Tua, if
Oh
they
yeah, Bucks
decide to get
OCs
rid of
too.
him, that kind of gives you two sides of the coin. You either getting good job security because you know you're gonna have to hit a hard reset with the cap hit that you're gonna take, and you're looking for a new franchise quarterback,
Yep.
or you could be in a situation where they're gonna be like, look, we really want a certain guy, but he's not available right now, so we're gonna hire a bridge coach to
And
get
that's
us
what
through these next couple of shitty seasons.
and that's really what the Green Bay defensive coordinator that they hired. That's really what he could be. He really could just be a bridge until they find who they want in college or in the NFL. And that's what happens a lot. We've seen that with the Patriots lately, Tennessee. Speaking of Tennessee, I'm gonna ask you first. How do you feel about the Robert Saleh? I heard a lot of different opinions last night in a space
Mm-hmm.
I was in. Some good, some bad. A lot of different insight that made a lot of sense. But what do you think about that?
If you have if you have some solid defensive pieces and you hire a defensive minded head coach and you let him like do what he do on that side of the ball, you need to hire an experienced offensive coordinator slash play caller
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
to be on that side of the ball,
I think
right?
his OC, which they said it looks like is going to be Dayball if he doesn't get the Bills head
Mm-hmm.
coaching job, he's
So
probably going to Tennessee, and I like that for Cam. Because like I was saying last night, Cam is if anybody who's paid attention to Cam since high school, to be honest, Cam don't need that much coaching. Like Cam coaches himself, if you want to be honest. Like Cam is 100% behind his own development, and whatever coach comes in adds on to that, like that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 100% about his own development and learning and getting better and stronger and all of that.
That just
Um,
means he's coachable. He's very
yeah,
coachable.
yeah, yeah, easily coachable, easily.
Very
And
coachable. So
Cam is a
you got
baller.
something definitely that you can work with. But my thing is like
They need receivers. They need a run game. They need
he
O
needs
line.
weapons and he
The
needs
only
a
weapon
lot of
he
things
got
around him.
is A.O. Maynor. A.O. Maynor, and I said it was so crazy when the draft happened. I
Tajay
remember
Sharp at running back is decent, but it's like ain't got nobody to
he.
block for him or nothing.
I
So
think Tajay is gonna be good as a number two back.
oh yeah,
They
that's what I'm
still
saying.
need a
But you got a
solid,
weapon though. You got somebody you can use
yeah.
in certain situations and stuff.
And then like I said, I also like the two tight ends they got. I can't say the I can never say that one boy name. It's an African.
Who I think is his name. Hold
Yeah,
up.
I like him. And then Gunnar Helm. I like Gunnar Helm too. So they got two good tight ends. They got a solid number two running back with Tajay Spear, and then they have a number one wide receiver in Alec Ao Maynor. Um, I like him. He's a dog. I definitely said when they picked him last year in the draft, that was
Mm-hmm.
a steal for them. He had a great rookie year. Now, take this top pick, go out O line, address wide receiver, get some more defensive pieces. I think you definitely got to address the offense first, in my opinion, because the first round of this draft is super. It's really mixed from what I've seen in the mock drafts. There's a lot of wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of D linemen, very very small on O linemen. I think I seen like maybe three top names were on the O line board. Lots of defensive linemen, and then a ass load of wide receivers, and it was like
Yeah,
maybe two tight ends.
but just getting back to it though, like these coaching openings though, I'm more interested in seeing how the coaches balance themselves out. Because
Yeah,
if you get an offensive minded head coach, I want to see who your defensive coordinator is going to be. I mean, I'm
hmm
still interested in who you're going to install on the offensive side of the ball,
of course.
but I want to see like how you build your
Because
staff
even if
and
you're
everything.
offensive minded, you still, unless you're going to be the OC and do all the play calling, you still got to bring in, like you bringing in an OC that's just as strong as you, or somebody that's not as strong as you, and they're a little
You
weak,
want to bring
so
in
you
somebody
can
that
kind of puppet
complements
them.
you,
Exactly.
that has your style, that can run your style of offense and have the same kind of philosophy at least, and then
Because
y'all can
let's
work
say
together.
that's
But
like if me and you.
if you have a defensive coach, I need to see who you're going to hire that's going to be on your offensive side, and
Mhm.
vice versa to see like how strong of a candidate do you bring in, and that's been one of the criticisms that I would say like
A lot of
certain
coaches.
coaches is
Mhm.
that you don't bring in as strong of the opposite side of the ball as your main, specialization, your philosophy, and that lessens or weakens that side of the ball. Or if
Yeah,
you have a front office who tends to spend money and pay attention to one side of the ball and not really spend money and pay attention to the other side of the ball. Looking at y'all, Cincinnati. And so you have teams that do those kind of things, and it's like when you have a strong offensive coach, you want a good defensive coach that can handle that side of the ball, is experienced, knows what to do, can innovate, and hold his own. That way, you have less management overall, like management that you have to do as opposed to like if you have the opposite.
I love what Total Dallas just said. I love that because that was a conversation we were having last night too. Is if you realize lately,
But that's all a part
especially
of filling out a good staff.
yeah, but if you realize lately, a lot of teams lose OCs more than DCs because OCs become head coaches. DCs do also, but the crazy thing is most DCs go right back to being DCs after being head coaches when they get fired. There's a couple that'll get jobs again because they were pretty decent at head coach, and the owner might be like, "No, we're the better position for them or a better situation."
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you look at the Super Bowl, the last few years they've all been won by offensive minded head coaches. Like we haven't had a I forgot who they said it last night, and I can't remember who was the last defensive head coach that won a Super Bowl, but it's been a
Hmm.
very long time.
Oh no,
So
it's been a minute, but my thing is like you can win with both. You just have to have the right combination. Is all I'm saying. You have to have the right kind of balance. You have to have the right kind of balance. The reason why Zach Taylor hasn't gotten fired is because Joe Burrow keeps getting hurt. You can't blame him for
yeah,
your franchise
they
quarterback constantly being
the
hurt.
owner
Like
understands it, and they've been giving Zach Taylor rope.
plus Mike Brown is cheap. He don't want to pay him to go away.
No, I'd rather
Like
let
it's
you
a
ride your
combination of the
contract out.
two. It's a combination of the two. Like come on, man. Let's
Sometimes you just got to do that. Some owners are just like, fuck it, I got to get rid of you. I just pay you.
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta let them ride you
Raiders
out.
are literally paying six coaches right now.
Yep,
They're paying six coaches. Six.
because what
Six.
did they do? Get a coach, fire him within a year.
Yeah. And it's like that
They
that's
just
the
did that with Pete Carroll. This is what the third coach in a row
yeah.
that lasted a season.
This is the thing that I keep telling people every time they want to get rid of this coach or get rid of this player or do this, do that. Okay, then what? Then who do you hire? Who do you draft? Who do you sign as a free agent? Who do you trade for that can logically come in and do a better job than what you already had?
Hmm.
If you can sit down and tell me that and logically play that out for me and explain it to me where it makes sense, and it don't sound like you've been on 2K or Madden or some shit, okay, cool, we can have a conversation. Outside of that, I can't talk about it because it's like you get too emotionally involved in it because you're a fan and you can't look at it objectively. And this is why I can talk to some people about it, but I can't talk to everybody about it. Because it's
Yeah,
like you're gonna get too emotionally involved as a fan and not be able to look objectively at the situation. And it's like that's cool. I don't have no issue with that. It's just like I can't really be in a serious conversation with you
we
about it.
can't have a if you're not looking at it, the totality of it,
Yeah.
instead of just being just again like the Josh Allen situation, like a couple other things. Like for me, I look at it like, all right, look at CJ. Same thing. CJ was missing a lot of weapons this season, but
Hmm.
he got through the playoffs, got to a point where they could go further, and he fucked up. Same thing with Josh, like y'all said, like he had turnovers that shouldn't have happened.
Hmm.
But he got through the season with nothing. So it's like on one hand, you gotta commend them for that part, but then it's like you commend them and give them rope for that part. But then once
Hmm.
you it's like you're in the game, you could have won it, but you fucked up. So it's hard, it's tough, but you got to see it from a total lens instead of just I don't like Josh Allen anyway. Fuck him.
Right.
Cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to feel that way. I have that same sentiment when it comes to
Right.
anybody who wears that star. Fuck them. Anybody who wears the Giants or the Commanders, fuck them. But
And that's
also I can look at it from a non-biased fan standpoint of, well, damn, their season was like it was because of X, Y, and Z.
exactly.
Washington, like I heard so many people that were going hard on Jaden this season, and I'm like, the man was hurt. He spent majority of his sophomore year hurt. Like, what did
Yep.
y'all expect? What do y'all want? It
Until they
gets
finally
weird
just decided,
sometimes.
like, you know what? Let's just shut him down, and we just gonna call it
They should have been
because
did that.
it don't make sense for us to keep playing him. We're not going nowhere.
He's
Let's
your
all right.
franchise
Let's just shut him
quarterback.
down.
They should have shut him down about week 8 or 9. I ain't even gonna lie. That's just my opinion. Because once you saw the season really won't go nowhere, I would have shut him down. Hey man, rehab. Let's rehab early. Let's get right early instead of waiting longer. And that way we good for training camp. Go ahead and go on vacation, man. Go out the country, go to Cabo, get you some
Hmm.
sun, train in the sand. Let's come back better.
Yeah.
So
And the thing is, man, like I had said this to somebody I was talking to the other day. I'm like, all of this instant microwave TV dinner, want my franchise and everything to turn around got started in the NFL when you got rid of the rookie wage scale.
mm-hmm.
When it was easy to move on from these high or first round draft picks. When it was easy to cut them, trade them, whatever, if they were bust, instead of these huge, albatross type contracts.
Mm-hmm.
when that became easier, it was like, okay, we can find better players and go from worst to first much quicker than we used
Yep.
to be able to. Okay, so now I want to see that same turnaround that I see everybody else doing. Well, then it was like, well, what is everybody else doing? Well, then it was like that different shit, like more of the spread and college concepts coming to the NFL because they were like, well, we getting these guys who aren't really ready for this league. So what do we do? Well, let's adapt our offenses and defenses and stuff to what they do in college. So that way we can bring more of those concepts to the pros so they're ready to play quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Now you start seeing offenses and defenses change and whatnot. And it's like when it became easier for teams to turn over their rosters and stuff like that, that's when it became more expectations placed on the coaching staff in the front office to find the right players, find the right coaches, get the right system, win now. So it just became a vicious cycle. And you get coaches like Sean McDermott, John Harbaugh, that get fired, Mike Tomlin that gets pressured and steps down, and you have people wondering why a guy like a Zach Taylor still has a job and different things like that. And it's like it's because of the pressure cooker way that the league is judged now. This is why people are calling for players' heads and calling for coaches' heads and GM's heads is because they want to see results yesterday. They don't want to wait for
Mm-hmm.
nothing to cook.
Nobody wants a 5-year rebuild. There's
No,
no
nope,
unless your
exactly.
team has been ass and you understand it. Other than that, people don't want to see a Steelers rebuild because that's what they should be in right now. They really should be in a rebuild. They should have been in one. They've really been in one since Ben Roethlisberger left. We saw the Patriots just go through a quick one. They went through about a good. They had, after this is what season 2 since Belichick been gone.
I believe it's three, two or three. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it
Might be,
up.
I think so. I think it's like 2 or 3. No, it's 2. Because last year they had this is Vrabel's first year. Because which one
And they
call it
had
was
that. I think they only had that 1 year under Mayo.
yeah, Mayo last year and then Vrabel this year. So they're in year 2 since he's gone. So they had a quick turnaround. I don't think the Ravens are in rebuild. They're just in revamp. The
Hmm.
Steelers may not be in the Steelers honestly may not be in rebuild. They may I think they might slightly be in revamp. Miami is in rebuild, whether they want to believe it or not. Cleveland's been in a rebuild since they got in the league. The Raiders have been in a rebuild since the 90s. No, not 90s. Since when was that Super Bowl? Oh one
2001,
one
2002,
something like that. They've
early
been in the
2000. Yeah.
Raiders been in a rebuild since then.
Hmm.
Um,
20 years.
Arizona is so Arizona's the job I don't hear a lot of people talking about. Arizona is a very interesting job that I also like. You
Oh,
just have
somebody
to
earlier,
figure.
one of the Dre's earlier said that that was a
Yeah,
sleeper.
yeah. It is a sleeper though. It really is because, but
Oh, here it
with
goes.
that being a sleeper, you have to figure out the Kyler situation. The Kyler
Yeah.
is Kyler. If I'm Kyler, right, I'm still young enough to walk away from football and go get that
Hmm.
damn baseball money. First off, I am definitely still young enough. My arm is still good enough where nigga, you can still play Call of Duty all you want. You can still do that and go play baseball, bro. But I definitely think you explore trades with him, which will probably force him to go play baseball because he probably gonna go somewhere he don't want to go. And I think it's time you start looking at another quarterback. Whether it's this, it may not be this season because so many quarterbacks have decided next year is going to be QB heavy, super QB heavy, and it's going to be amazing to watch. Um, a lot of wide receivers because you got Jeremiah Smith that possibly could come out next year, his junior year. You got Ryan Williams
Hmm.
that possibly could come out next year after his junior year. Yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait till we get to next season already. That draft is gonna be phenomenal. But there's not a lot of quarterbacks this year, so it's as each quarterback has decided to fall back and be like, nah, I'm gonna wait. Now a lot of these teams are looking at different positions now. Now it's like maybe I got to keep the little quarterback I got, or I got to see what's out here in free agency because I would use this top draft pick on a wide receiver now or a D line. Another key position that they need. But I do like Arizona. I like Arizona because they just need the right coach. Kyler needs the right coach to get into his head. That defense, the offense is there. I like Trey McBride, Maserati Marv. The run game is pretty solid too. So, just
Hold up.
as
Wait, he said they saved 39.5 million, bruh. They also gonna have a $53 million cap hit.
So that pans out to 53, 39 and a half.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. Like it's not that cut and dry because you have to look at the amount of money that he has left on his contract and this and that and the dead cap and stuff. And so
who's going to take on his contract if he gets traded? Do we keep it or is it the next team? It's a lot that goes into it as far as trading them. It's not, and I'm sure they're doing their due diligence right now to even think about that for sure, because that's a real thinking piece. Like, but that's also for the next head coach once he comes in to be within that discussion of, all right, what do you think about Kyler? What do you see from Kyler? Do you see Kyler being somebody that we can continue to build around going forward? Is he our franchise guy? Or do you think we need to move on? You know what I mean? So I'm it might be time to move on from Kyler. And let's figure something else out.
Third overall pick in the draft, right?
With no quarterbacks. After Mendoza, you got Nussmeier.
Ty Simpson.
Did Ty Simpson move up the board with everybody pulling out?
Yep.
Because I think Ty Simpson slid a little. He was very top. He was what? They had him in the top 5 discussion for a while.
Oh yeah.
And then he started sliding. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure it was like play and stuff like that. I think with less quarterbacks, he's gonna slide right back in now. Carson Beck is still there. I still think Carson Beck is a 2nd or 3rd rounder, maybe 4th. His age, of course, is going to play a factor. But then we see with Bo Nix, that age don't mean shit. It's all about how you play on the field.
Yeah, and I keep telling people that, like...
And I seen so many people say that about Bo last year. He's too old. I remember I said it. Denver was the best place for him to go. That was a great situation for him.
All he had to do, and you can tell... because like you saw the reports early last season of him and Sean Payton going back and forth, whatever, right? And then you started seeing him like really lock in. And that's when they actually took off last year. And I kept telling Dre all offseason, I was like, hey, bro, if Bo Nix actually locks in with Sean Payton, he's going to totally avoid a sophomore slump.
Yep.
And you're gonna see him play a hell of a lot better this coming year.
Oh,
look what the fuck happened.
Same
thing like I was telling when I realized, because I didn't even realize, like, for example, Marty, I didn't even realize Marty was a Patriots fan. I knew House was, I didn't know Marty was.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, I knew.
And we was talking, he was like, man, Drake May, man, he kept being mad that they traded Joe Milton.
I remember. We were in the chat. We was all in the group chat, and he was pissed.
So
now that's what's funny to me. I'm glad you said that. As I go in the chat right now and remind him of this.
No, because the thing was I was like, bro, you really need to relax because you got a good quarterback. Man, I don't know, man.
He's like Drake May ass and da-da-da. Joe Milton was already.
I said, just watch. Just wait. Just watch.
And look where we at. Drake May about to be in the Super Bowl.
Look, just the other day, I had saw something or somebody said something.
Now that I think about it, House was mad too. I don't know if
I know.
House was another one.
I know. I've had this same conversation with both of them this season.
They were pissed. I remember now.
Both of them.
Very.
And I was like, hey, bro, I'm trying to tell y'all, relax. Y'all gonna be fine.
They're like, they said Joe Milton to Dallas, da-da-da. That's our backup. That's our future right there. And he may have been, you never know. But Drake May said, hey, I'm still here. And look where we at. Okay, so I agree with this. I agree with this statement. I thought Dante Moore going back to school was stupid also, especially when Dylan Raiola decided to go there, even though Dylan may be out next season with his injury.
They
And it
say
also
he's
gives,
probably redshirting.
yeah, because of
The
they're going to
last
give him
thing
a
I read about
medical,
that situation, I believe he's expected to redshirt.
which is smart. It gives that way
Yeah,
Dante don't got to look over his shoulder.
right,
It doesn't really mess Dylan's
right,
development up in a sense. And then
right,
they don't have to worry about their quarterback going into that next season because
right.
they got Dylan. So I low key did the same thing on NCAA. I love bringing my video game stuff into this. What? Hey, look! Once the portal opens up, I
Yeah.
had I got old boy from Michigan. Um, shit, what's his name?
Oh, the quarterback.
Yeah,
Oh
I can never
gosh, I
think of that
can't
young
think of his
man's.
name. Number one recruit in the country. I know who you're talking about
Yeah,
though.
but I got him in the transfer portal
Mm-hmm.
behind Julian Sand. So, and he actually ended up hurt. So I redshirted Julian
Blake
Sand.
Underwood.
Yeah, Drake Underwood, and then started him. Um, hold on. So the thing with Trinidad Chambliss, right? They fully denied him, and he is
And
going into the draft.
and the thing is I keep telling people the reason why he fought so hard to come back for another year is because the information that he's been getting is that he's not going to be a high draft pick, even
And
with
it's
all
mostly
these.
because, and I think it's mostly because of the time he had in JUCO, and then he only had one like division. So it's
Right.
like
Because last year I
I like
believe he
Chambliss
was
though.
I can't remember what school he was at last year. He was at like James Madison or like
It was
some D2 school or something like that.
I forgot where he
But
was at, but they won the championship. I
they
know
won the
that he was
championship and everything, but then
he won
he got
he won the D2 Heisman. Didn't know they had that.
right. He came up to this level, D1, and played well after Simpson got hurt.
Yep.
Well, the thing is just like with Anthony Richardson, when
Yeah.
they don't have a lot of tape on you, they're unsure of you. Anthony Richardson just had freak size and athleticism. So
And he had a
he,
great pro day and
yeah, he was
yeah.
a get off the bus type of guy and a combine guy where all of his workout numbers and stuff are going to look impressive. But it's like, dude only started like 20 something games in high school. Got to Florida, only started 20 something games in Florida. So he's only really played 40 something games of
And
high level football
and
if
you
you
never know.
combine high school and college.
And you never know. Chambliss could really be him. He really could continue what we've already seen and be him. He possibly could. But I understand the whole like I said could. Remember, you got verbiage. I said could. I mean, we never know. You honestly never
There's
know because
always
there's
a
a
chance. It could
yeah
be
because there
it could be
some of these
3%,
quarterbacks.
it could be 90%.
I'm not gonna lie. We've talked about this and you said it. Look, Archie comes from a lineage of fucking amazing quarterbacks, and he played more like his daddy. When his daddy played quarterback, his daddy was a wide receiver. So
Bro, like all I know is
Archie knew I need one more year because that if I was gonna go in after this,
but
I'm
the
not a
other
first
thing
round pick.
too is like when you look at like the NIL factors into some of these guys staying in school a
Hell
little
yeah,
bit
because they're gonna make more in one
because
season of
even
NIL
if
than
you
they
don't make more, you're still getting a good amount of guaranteed money to do very little work.
Yep, go to school barely. Go to
That's it.
practice barely.
Practice, work out,
Show
eat
up on game
right,
day. Go to
fulfill
practice
whatever type of
barely.
school obligations you have,
Yep,
and that's it. That is it. And it's like you getting paid millions of dollars, or some of y'all hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands to do the basic things for a student athlete. And it's like, if
bro.
I'm not going to get drafted where I think I'm going to get drafted, why not go back and accept that easy bag and try
Definitely.
to improve my stock? Like it just
Not
makes
even that. NIL, transfer portal, like all of that factors in now because now a player can literally go to 4 different schools, 5 different schools. Their entire like literally every season they can be like, oh, got my money from y'all. Time to go on to the next one. Like because some of them NIL deals are only for 1 year. They're not
I
even full. Like
believe there's one school, Duke is suing their quarterback, Darian Mensah, I believe.
believe it.
He violated the contract. Um, some people are upset at Malachi Tony from Miami for entering the portal.
Bruh, I'm
Um,
pissed. I am
uh,
pissed.
There's also like
Unless he comes to Ohio State, then I
oh
understand.
gosh, I can't remember the kid's name. TJ
He
something.
want to go to LSU too. I saw that. I saw that was
TJ
one of the schools.
no, it was like
That Tony,
Florida. It was no, I want to
Florida,
say it
Ohio
was like
State.
Florida, Ohio State, and like Penn State or some shit like that. Like it was three different I can't remember what kind of schools, but it was three different schools.
I ain't gonna lie,
But
Malachi Tony is him. If he, as long as he got the right quarterback, he is
mhm.
him.
Yeah,
He's a
but
game changer.
there's just like there's just like a lot going on.
It's
And
hard
my
to
thing is
rebuild when you got
my thing,
players doing that.
yeah, but my thing is like the NCAA allowed this to happen because they lost it in court and they just decided to have hands off ever since they couldn't get their way from the beginning. And ever
Yep.
since they decided to be what's the Wild West and it's getting wilder, and now it's like, oh wait, we have to do something about this. And then the coach is changing schools and stuff now, and it's like, wait, we gotta do something about this. They just need to come up with a system and a schedule that mimics the NFL. Have a
Yeah.
true off season where there's no player or coach movement until after certain dates have been met
Yep.
and whatnot, and then there's no player movement until after certain dates have been met. And call it a fucking day. Create a schedule and say, okay, this is when we're going to start this. This is when we're
I'm
going to
so
start this.
glad. I'm so glad basketball it hasn't gotten out of control as I thought it was.
People were remember how
I thought it
people
was
were
gonna be
crazy
worse
about
for
the one and
basketball.
done?
I thought basketball was gonna be worse with the
Bruh,
player movement, and it hasn't been. I mean, we've seen some people move around, but it hasn't been crazy like the way football has.
here's the
Football,
thing.
we're watching key players
Hmm.
like a Malachi Tony, like a Dylan Raiola. They're like, man, yep, time to go. Because
I'm
it's
out of
all
here.
about draft. It's
Hmm.
all about
Yeah.
the next move after college,
It's
where
it's
college
two things.
basketball is still the one and done. So that's why we're not gonna see a lot of movement. I just gotta go ball out this 1 year and
Yeah.
I'm leaving anyway.
It's two things in college football. It's about the next contract and improving my draft stock.
Yep.
And those are typically like at that upper level. Those are the main two things these guys are considering. And I don't blame them. Go get your money. Like you only have
I mean, yeah.
so many years of high level ball left in you anyway.
Yep.
So you might as well take advantage of that earning
Once
potential
you
while it's on the
from
table.
what is it, 18 to 28, 10, 12 years,
Something like that, yeah. And
12
this
year
is
shelf
why
window.
like when I see some of these baseball players fighting for some of these deals and stuff, and why the CBA and the owners and everything is so contentious in baseball, is because they want to protect those guaranteed contracts and they keep fighting to try to get those guys paid earlier in their careers instead of the team having so much control over them for the first part of their career.
Yeah, and
And,
that
and
money being on the back end like that.
right, and this is why in the NFL they fight for a larger chunk of revenue sharing because they know we don't have guaranteed contracts. So if we could at least get the pie, our piece of the pie a little bit bigger, then we create a bigger pool for all of us to get paid. NBA is kind of a blend of both because they have guaranteed contracts and they have a good chunk of the pie too.
Mm-hmm.
So they really got the best of both worlds. But it's like, this is why you see those labor struggles in these professional sports leagues is because everybody wants to try to get as much as they can while
Mm-hmm. The
but
players
yeah.
want to make their money while they're there. The league is like,
Mhm.
yeah, but we want that money now too. So,
So real quick, with these conference championship games coming up this weekend, the way I
whew,
see it, I got the Patriots winning, and I
of
think that
course,
game is going to be closer than what most people think.
I got
Um,
passing Rams.
I got the Patriots. It's going to be pretty close. I think that game is going to be like something like 20-17 or 20-13, something like that.
Mm.
Um, I think it's going to be a one score game. I'll put it to you like that. Uh, and for I just keep feeling it for whatever reason. I'm gonna keep riding with the Rams.
Yeah, hey, listen.
I'm gonna keep riding with the
Remember what I told y'all a couple weeks ago before the playoffs? I said it.
Rams.
I said
Hey,
the
dog.
Rams, the Rams are they're the sneakiest team that was in the playoffs,
Hey,
and
dog.
they've won. And you got the veteran coach, you got the veteran uh quarterback. You got veteran wide receivers now, and Devontae, the run game. Corum is finally stepping up. Puka, having Puka and Devontae at the end of that game this weekend, getting it to like that's
Bro, this is the other thing
Parkinson, like the tight ends.
They have them two receivers, them two like alpha receivers that are technicians, route runners, will run any route on the route tree type of guys, right? They got some guys that can stretch the field. They got 3 tight ends and 2 running backs.
Yep.
Bro,
look at the defensive side of the ball. Jared Verse is playing lights out right now.
That's my favorite side of the football. I've been liking that defense, but I started paying more attention to their offense this year.
And I'm not gonna take nothing away from the Seahawks because the Seahawks are also balling the fuck out.
Yeah.
This is the third time this is the third time they've seen each other this season now. So they're very familiar with each other. It's gonna be a great dog fight of a game. It's gonna be like what people thought us in Washington was gonna be in the conference championship last year. I think it's going to be that with them. I think it's going to be a dogfight between the two of them. I don't think it's going to be lopsided at all. I think the Patriots game is going to be a little more lopsided. I got that being more of a 14-point swing than a 7. I got the Pats winning though, but I just think it's more of a 14-point swing. But that Rams, I think it's going to come down to like a field goal or something like that, or a last second touchdown.
That's pretty. Bro, no, nobody is a 14.5-point favorite. What are you looking at? New England is a 5.5-point favorite, and Seattle is a 2.5-point favorite.
And that's what I'm about to say. Like that 2.5 makes sense because, like I said, I think that one's gonna. I was about to say,
like he said, a mistime. I was about to say, like, wait a minute, whoa.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, because the thing is the reason
5.5.
This is why I say it's gonna be a 1-score game. That Broncos defense is nasty. And they're gonna hurt Drake May. They're gonna confuse him and whatnot, and they're going to see. This is the problem. You trying to do cardio while you trying to be in the chat.
just do cardio and listen, fool.
And then look, this one he gonna try to take up for him. 4 + 1 = 5. Both of y'all can get the hell out of here. But nah, man. Like the thing is the books have it at 5.5, and I feel as though Jarrett Stidham isn't going to turn the ball over or anything, and they're going to have a game plan for him that's going to be simplified, take advantage of his strength. He's not going to chunk it, 60 yards down the field to some deep ball or nothing like that.
You might get 1 or 2.
He may.
He's going to try.
He may take some shots, but it's not going to be like drop back and. He's not Michael Vick.
He still got Cortland Sutton, and if Sutton get that separation,
but we talking about Jarrett Stidham's arm strength to cut it through that mountain air, and get it where he needs to get. I don't know if he still got that in him. I don't think he still got it. But neither here nor there. I just feel like he's gonna have enough command of that offense with the weapons that he has around him to keep them in the game, coupled with that defense. I don't think he's gonna lose the game for them or anything. But I think that coupled with that defense and what he'll be able to do with the weapons around him, I think they'll be able to keep it within 1 score.
I agree. It's gonna be good games this weekend. I will say that. Unlike that national championship game that pissed me off, boy.
Bro.
Good game.
Hey man, listen. It was a good ass game, and I was glad Miami was able to fight back and make a game of it.
Yes.
My only thing with that game was like,
Mario had some questionable. It was the when they got the punt block for the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he should have went for it. I felt like in the national championship, I excuse me, I get playing it safe, but it was like what, a 4th and 1. Go for it,
bro.
Go for it. You're right. Just go for it.
At that time, it's 10-7, and the ball is like if you miss it, they get the ball in the red zone now.
I mean, they're gonna score
Like
either way.
you don't do you punt the ball. You do exactly what they did. You punt. You don't go for a 4th and 1 that deep into your own field. Hell no. The fuck? This is why I say I'm glad some of y'all just play video games and don't be actual real coaches. Cause y'all would be like
I
three
like my
and
coach.
3 and 10.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have the mindset of my coach though. I like aggressive football on the offensive side though. Like I think if you have regardless, if you have the personnel for it.
Bro,
Oh, I don't punt. I hate punting.
there's aggressive
I don't punt.
and there's crazy.
I don't know. I just feel like that in that certain instance, I don't think that was crazy though. I just feel like 4th and 1, you got. I don't know. I'm just different. I just feel like you got to try because that punt block just changed the whole. Up until they started coming back, it changed going into the half. It changed the entire trajectory of the game at that point, and it was like it took the air out of everything they were doing. Everything. Great game. I mean, shout out to Indiana. It went exactly, I guess, as some people say, it went exactly how it was supposed to go. Similar to the LSU year when they won it. You know, quarterback got the Heisman, National Player of the Year, like just got everything. So
Except Joe Burrow had like twice as many yards and touchdowns.
way more. Way more. But there was a lot of questions about Mendoza at that were answered and then unanswered all at the same time.
Let me tell you something. I got into a thread with my buddy that does the draft profiles, and it was Quincy Avery, the quarterback coach for like Deshaun Watson and them.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them had said something about the amount of RPO plays that Indiana was running that night, and the other one responded, and I was like, you know what? I'm glad I could talk football with some people who see the same shit that I be seeing, because I'm like, the fuck are y'all doing? And then we all thought about it, and Lance was the one who was like, you know, maybe that's what they're trying to do to combat those two defensive ends. And I commented, I was like, if you think about it, it's smart because when you got Bain on one side, Messidor on the other side,
and
if you make one of them, if you make one or both of them free, if you make at least one of them freeze because he has to try to do outside containment, you giving the running back a free run up the middle.
And that's what was happening.
Right. And that the one time they was like, all right, we ain't even gonna do RPO back here. We gonna go for it. And it's 4th and medium. We gotta throw it, or so you thought. Mendoza went back and was like, hey, let's go. Quarterback draw. Surprise, bitch. And it was like, oh shit.
Because for the most part during that game, Messidor was in. It was more Messidor than Bain. He was in that man's face. He put hands on him damn near every time.
This is
the
what
refs
I was
weren't
seeing.
calling it.
This is
it
what
was
I
a
was,
lot of.
It was a couple of times. It was a couple. You're right. It was a couple of times where they hit him in the head or something like that, and I was just like, ooh. I didn't really. I think there was only once when they hit him kind of late when I thought they should have threw a flag.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I saw what you were talking about. But it was like Messidor was getting there, but then Bain was beating the block more. Like Messidor would get there,
was blowing them up.
Yeah, it was crazy because it was like watching them all season. They've been playing meet me at the quarterback like all season, and
which is always fun.
It's crazy because it's like watching them. It's like watching like a. It's similar to when I watch Houston's Hunter and Anderson, except Hunter and Anderson are a little bit leaner, quicker, whereas Miami's Messidor and Bain are a little bit bigger and stronger. They're bigger guys because they're both like 275, 280, whereas Anderson's like 240, 250.
But you know what's crazy?
Hunter's
when
like
I was watching the end of the game and they were showing Bain had took his pads off and gave it to his family, and I'm looking at him, he's not as big as I thought he was. Like he's actually a little more leaner like Anderson.
If he looks like that.
But that was like what I'm saying. What they were showing at least on TV was him, you know, just with the compression shirt and everything on. And I'm like, he just looks slimmer than I thought. I thought he was a lot like stockier though. Um, but I think he did come into this season a smidge leaner than what he was last year, also, because he was a lot bigger last year and stronger.
They got
He
him
came in
listed at
this season
270,
faster.
6'3", 275. I
Mm.
want to say he was around. Oh gosh, he was around. He may have been a slight bit bigger or smaller. I can't remember if he was a little bit heavier or a little bit
I
lighter
think he was a
last
little
year.
heavier. I think he was a little
I,
heavier
I
last
I
year
can't remember. I know he was around the same
because
size, maybe a little bit.
Mesidor
Yeah,
was a little heavier last year also when he
yeah.
came in, but it worked
Okay.
for them because they were quicker off the ball, still strong. Just that
Then they got
footwork was just
Messador
better.
listed at 280. I remember they were like around the same size. But like the thing that I love about watching both of those guys is when you have two big, strong guys that can come off the edge like that, that have the athleticism and the footwork where they can set the edge, get to the quarterback quickly, and not just have to worry and use their bull rush, pass rush skills. Like they can play the run and play the pass. It wasn't just that they were just good pass rushers; they could play the
Mhm.
run as well.
I
And
think that
so,
game helped Mesidor move up the board too from where
oh,
he
he's
was.
been moving up the board pretty much all year. Bain
Yeah.
was already like a top prospect. He was already like guaranteed to go at least mid first round at bare
Yeah.
minimum. Most of the time he was talked about in the top five. Messador was the guy who was like, okay, he's like, I want to say early on or beginning of the season, last season or whatever, he was like second, third round pick maybe. And then he's moved up to that first round talent this season from what
Uh-huh.
I can tell.
Oh, excuse me.
So shout out to both of those guys, man. And I think that Indiana has they got Mendoza, couple of those wide
There's a
receivers,
Yeah, a lot of their players have moved up the board now that people weren't
and I
watching.
want to say, oh gosh, a couple of their defensive backs and like one of the offensive linemen. Um, they got about five or six, seven, eight players that's draftable. Basically, they
Yeah.
got it's under 10, but I can't remember all of them. But I know outside of Mendoza, it was a couple of the receivers. I
It's
want
a
to say,
receiver that one receiver that came with Signetti from JMU. I can't remember his name, but I've seen a lot of talk about him, and he's moved up the draft board high also,
mhm.
which
Yeah,
is dope for him.
there's a couple of them, man. But it's like I'm loving that we got to see, the full scope of some of these guys play, and we're getting to know them a little bit more with these college football playoffs. But to be honest with you, to wrap up college football talk, all the talk about expanding the college football playoff, y'all need to dead that. We do not need to go to 16, and we damn sure don't need to go to 24.
I don't think we need to expand it, but I think they need to look better at like
How they fill it out.
I love that JMU made it this year. I love it. And shit, they scored more against Oregon than a lot of people did this season. Played
Hmm.
better. But also, we gotta really look at some of these teams that's getting in, man. Like I get it, but it's sometimes it's tough because they had great seasons. You got to reward for great seasons, and
Hmm.
it's either they make the playoffs or you give them a really good bowl game. It's one or the other.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, man, like you, to me, college football had a problem starting long time ago, and it
Yeah,
was the BCS and the computers and this and that. Like
the
when y'all
SEC
started,
being super
when
biased.
when we started seeing teams that are right at or below 500 make bowl games, that's when I was like, it's too many fucking bowl games.
Oh, it's
Way
definitely
too
too
many
many
bowl
bowl
games.
games,
Way
but
too
that's
many bowl games.
also way too many football school teams. So it's like
Well,
it's
I'm not gonna fault the schools for coming up to the D1 level to get a part of that money. If they qualify, they qualify. They got some real strict qualifications too.
yeah,
But again, like Dre just said, money talks. And it's
yeah,
like because there's the sponsorship there, there's going to be money to be made. They're going to take advantage of it. And I think that eventually water is going to find its level because they're going to get tired of paying for these sorry ass teams to come there. But the thing is,
because
even if
now
that
you
team
you got
is,
bowl games getting bull teams that are 4 loss, 5 loss, hell, even 7 to 8 loss teams now.
bruh, the ones that I saw that shocked me the most, I have seen 5
the
and
Pop Tart
17,
Bowl is funny as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
and I've seen 6 and 6 teams and stuff like that. A bunch of 7 and 5 teams make bowl games and stuff like that. But when a fucking 5 and 17 makes a bowl game, I'm like that pisses me off.
The Pop Tart
That I'm mad because it's like, God damn it, can you at least be 500? Like,
at
okay,
least
maybe you could be above. Can you at least be 6 and 6?
listen, it it's crazy. I mean, there's no way really to fix the like you said, the system has been corrupt for a while, so there's really no way to fix it where everybody is going to be happy. Like
Yep.
somebody's always going to be upset and be mad.
Oh, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
I mean, shout out to JMU. That's money that they got this, to go into their school and program this year.
Hmm.
Hopefully they continue to build on it and they can get back next year, which they probably will. Signetti's
And
put a great foundation there that's still being instilled even after he's been gone. So,
right, and the thing is like they get it extra because not only did they make it to the playoffs, but their former coach from 3 years ago, he took his team and made a tremendous turnaround. So it's like, oh, wait a minute, like they were just like JMU is like how the young Bucks and them were back in the day. Like it was like they put on a bunch of good indie matches and they turned out a couple of good talents here and there, but it wasn't like anything that made a huge impact. But then it was like, oh shit, like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, the guy signed to WWE, and oh, like wait a minute, Tyler Black is now signed to WWE, and Kevin Steen is now there, and what the
oh yeah,
fuck is started
yeah, yeah,
AEW?
yeah. Because Ring of Honor I've always been a huge fan, but
That's what I'm
like
saying.
you
You had
said,
like Ring of
you
Honor
had
and
that talent
PWG
that
and
was
Dragon
right
Gate.
there,
Yeah,
and then the Samoa Joes who I always look at
exactly.
TNA a little different than like the Ring of Honors, of course, because I always felt like TNA was WWE and then there's TNA. But
Yeah.
you had the AJ Styles in them who were amazing talents. Joe, who
Hmm.
was amazing talents,
Hmm.
because they had those WWE guys who, when they got let go, they still had a lot of time left, came down to TNA and they built up, you know, built and hurt TNA all at the same time. So it was like
Right.
AJ got great matches with Sting. Samoa had great matches with Sting at that time, who still had a lot. Kurt Angle.
The
Kurt Angle
classic
held.
triple threat match with Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. I want to say they
Oh
had
my
two of
God.
them. They had
Hey,
two of them because it was one at
people
the
don't talk
one at
about Christopher
'05,
Daniels
and I
enough.
think it was another one the following year or later that same year. Like they had two.
People
I
don't
didn't
talk
realize,
about Christopher Daniels enough. This ain't a
bro.
wrestling pod, but I will say people do not talk about the greatness of Christopher Daniels enough, and I hate it. I hate it. I love what he's doing with AEW now. I
Yeah.
think he's in a great role.
Hmm.
But people do not talk about the greatness of Christopher Daniels enough, man.
Bro,
He
let me
was
tell you something.
he was him.
This is one of those things where this is one of those topics that I have in the reserve is like underrated like athletes of our time or that you've seen or that you can remember. And
Mm.
he's definitely one of those underrated wrestlers because there's always those underrated players from these underrated schools that come out. Like I was just talking to somebody the other day and I was like, do you realize one of the best pass rushers over the last 10 or 15 years, Khalil Mack, went to Buffalo? Khalil Mack actually wore number 47 at Buffalo because on one of the last NCAA football games before they stopped making it, that was his overall rating.
Oh, on
So he wore
14.
47 because that was his last when in NCAA football, that was his overall rating was a 47. It's stuff like that that people like
I
JJ
didn't know
Watt
that.
and Antonio Brown were both at fucking Central Michigan together. Yeah, it's like these are the journeys that people have had in this game. Like, bro, if we want to
Some
go
of us,
back,
if you really want to, I'm about to say the best, some of the one of the best wide receivers ever. Not just him, T.O.,
bro, I was just
Jerry
getting ready to
Rice,
talk about them. I was literally just getting ready to talk about Jerry
uh,
Rice is at fucking
Ocho.
Mississippi Valley State. Like
But also, I
Also,
will say,
wait,
up until
Ocho and
about
TJ Hushmanzada, their crazy story is they were both at Oregon
I've
State, but they were both at
yep,
JUCOs before they got to Oregon State.
uh-huh. But the crazy thing is, up until like a certain point in the 90s, to be honest, the NFL really was drafting from a lot of these HBCU and D2 schools. People forget that majority of the greats from like the 60s, 70s, and about the 80s came from
Mhm.
HBCUs up
There was a
until a
ton
certain
of them,
point.
a
Like
ton
some
of
of the
them.
Hall of Famers are from
I
HBCUs.
man, bro, I was
Yeah,
just getting ready to
McNair,
bring that
Alcorn
shit up.
State. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's crazy how they stopped looking at these schools for talent and they strictly stuck with the D1 bigger
I
schools.
don't
And
think
it's
I don't
crazy.
think I don't even think they stopped looking at them for talent. I think what happened was talent that was going to those schools were getting looked at more by the bigger schools. And I think it was more of a shift in the talent itself choosing these schools as opposed to going to these HBCUs. I think the talent shifted. I don't think the NFL ever stopped looking because trust me, like I hear about it a lot where like a guy that I know through a couple of mutuals, he's a scout for a pro team. And it's on the basketball side, but he's like on the international side of it.
Mm.
And that's all he scouts is just international games, international players. He don't scout
Especially for
nobody
basketball.
state. He rarely scouts stuff stateside. He just scouts international.
You notice
That's
there's been
it.
more international players coming over to
Yeah,
play college basketball now.
but that's what I'm saying. Like it's not necessarily like there's sometimes where you can like with basketball I can say like internationally, the game has grown to the point where player development is almost better internationally than it is stateside. It's better
Hmm.
internationally than it is stateside. That's just a fact. But with football, it was a shift in where the talent was going. So there, and even in basketball, there was a shift in the talent going to different schools and stuff. But I
Because it
think
was the same for a while, HBCUs again,
mhm,
and the D2s were getting a lot better talent than some of the D1s.
exactly,
Because
and you were looking at
if you didn't go to one of those top Power Five schools,
mhm,
it was kind of like because think about it, same thing, 60s, 70s, a little bit of the 80s.
yep.
The best basketball players were not coming from the Dukes, the UNCs, you got one or two from the Kansases and stuff.
You got
They were
some of the
coming
blue
from
bloods, but then you had a lot of players
a
from
lot of
like
your best players and dogs were coming from either the ABA because they would go to a HBCU, got no
mhm,
looks, go into the ABA or the Globetrotters or whatever, and that's where they were getting their looks at. I've watched all these documentaries,
yeah.
but that's where
There was
the
some
talent
really
was
good.
coming
There was
from.
some ballers out there, and the thing is like um we tend to see it in l- like less popular sports, like. But then when you really think about it, like baseball and hockey, and you really think of like the blue bloods of those sports, it's more true to form in those sports than it is sometimes at some of the major sports like basketball and football. But just seeing the way teams get talent and where they get talent from shift over the years and over the decades is crazy to watch. And the funny thing about it is a lot of people were afraid that NIL was going to help the larger schools because they thought that those schools would have larger budgets. And it's not necessarily about the school itself having the budget because that's not where NIL money comes. NIL money comes from alumni and boosters.
Yep.
So you could have 75,000 students enrolled and charge each of them $50,000, but that don't mean your school is going to have enough money to pay for players. Now, if your alumni base got some multi-millionaires and billionaires in it, and you could be a little small school with only like 15,000 people enrolled, but you got a rich enough alumni base, or you could fuck some shit up in the NIL market.
Hmm.
So that's why I always tell people like, hey, don't look at the size of the school or the name brand or that's a blue blood. You got to look at who's pouring how much money into these programs. That's what you got to look at. Perfect example, Oklahoma State, T. Boone Pickens, all billionaire. He been dumping money into that school for decades. And that's why Oklahoma State is always able to stay somewhat competitive with their cross state rival Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of that.
Football and basketball.
That's why Mike Gundy got fired, even though he's an alumni, played quarterback there and everything else. It was like, hey, you ain't getting it done. We put all this money into this team. We need to see results. You out of here. Like, but you starting to see stuff like that. But speaking of NIL, to transition over to college basketball, since we're talking about NIL, the men's ranking stayed pretty much the same, except Iowa State dropped another game unexpectedly this year, and they were the biggest faller of anybody. They fell 7 spots.
Number
And
9 now.
damn near everybody in the top 10 moved up a spot because Iowa State fell so far.
And
Bro,
it's pretty.
it's
The
literally
men's
like
rankings is
bro,
pretty
teams
close.
wait, teams two through 8, everybody went up a spot because Iowa. I'm sorry, I don't know why I find that so fucking funny, but yeah, that's what happened. Um,
Man, Arizona's on an 18-game win streak. UConn's on a 14. Got Nebraska on a 19-game win streak. Houston on an 11.
yeah,
Purdue
you
dropped
got
a
teams
game
that's out there
recently.
that's really like balling.
Yeah, the men's
Um,
joint is kind of tight at the top. Like even in that top
it's
10,
real close. On the
like
women's
you said,
side,
you drop a game and you like you just said with Iowa State, you drop a game, you going
you can plummet. You can fuck
yeah.
around and plummet. But
On the women's
the
side,
biggest
the women's
riser
side is
on
pretty tight too.
the men's side was Kansas. They moved up 7 spots in one poll and 6 spots in the other poll. They went from unranked in the AP to 19,
19.
and they went from
Mm.
25 to 19 in the coaches poll. So that was your biggest mover, biggest faller on the men's side. On the women's side, the top like 6 pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah.
Um, and then you had the biggest faller this week was Kentucky, and the
Mm.
biggest riser this week was Baylor. Baylor went up 4 spots, Kentucky fell 4 spots. But
Yeah, and
it's
like you said,
pretty much
that's pretty tight all the way up until about the same as the men's, to be honest. Um,
mhm.
maybe a little, yeah, because it's about 1 to 2 games separate everybody. We have
Yeah,
less undefeated in the women's side because we only have 2 undefeated, which is UConn and Vanderbilt, and then South Carolina's only lost 1, UCLA's lost 1, Texas 2. Everybody else after that is 2 and 3. So Texas Tech
mhm.
and Princeton only lost 1 game. The fact that Princeton is 16-1, I need to pay attention to their women this year.
Hey, TCU is 18-1. That's another one loss team too.
Yeah. I've been watching TCU, of course. No,
Yeah.
TCU is 18-2 on the women's side.
Oh, I'm sorry. 18. No, the thing that's
Yeah,
funny is on the
they just lost.
AP side, they got them at 18-1. On the coaches side, they got them at 18-2.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
What
I
is it?
swear, I'm about to send you the picture
Hey,
right
brother.
now. I
Every
promise you.
time, every time y'all bring up Audie name, I smile because I was the first one. That was it. I hipped all y'all to
Dog,
Audie.
let me tell you,
Hey, brother,
like,
I started watching her and I was like, yo,
bruh,
Shorty
I
is
was, I
balling.
saw it and I was like, I need to see more because I'm not convinced. And then you was like, nah, bro,
She's
she like that, she really
consistent.
like that. And I was
She
like,
was
okay,
consistent
I'm
last
gonna pay
year.
more attention. Ever since, and this was last year. Ever
And I
since
told
I've been
you.
like, yeah, she
Then they went out
really
and
is
got
like that.
Jada. They went and got out and got Jada from Arizona, and now she got a
Hmm.
point guard. That's all Jada needed. That good 1-2. Because I realized in high school, Jada was the same way. She was better when she had somebody big down low to help her out. When she just got to do all the scoring by herself, she can do it, but she
Hmm.
plays better with the big. Audie is the same. Audie can do it. And I mean, hell, she averaging 30 a game for real. But she's better when she got somebody that could just feed it to her and then she do 1-2, put it up. So
Hmm.
it was a great tandem of them two being together.
Yeah, the one um that I noticed that there's something different. Yeah, Dre has been all over Kiki Rice for
Oh
UCLA.
no,
He
I've
hasn't shut
been
up
paying
about her.
attention to UCLA also because I like Lauren Betts. Her little
Yeah,
sister is a baller too.
bro.
Um,
Her little sister actually has the opportunity to be a little bit better because I think she moves better than Lauren. She's not.
yeah,
I think the
she's not
younger
as
sister's
tall as
like
Lauren.
6'4". I don't think
Yeah,
because
she's
Lauren is like 6'7". I think the younger sister's like 6'4",
yeah,
and so she also
yeah.
moves a little bit
I
better.
like
But
UCLA.
yeah,
I like
they're
watching
really
them play.
good. But one thing that I did notice somebody had pointed out was, and I know you like Full Wiley when she decided to go to LSU,
Woo! Loved it.
she can't go left.
Full
She
Wallet?
has a hard time going left. Yes, and I didn't realize this until somebody pointed it out. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to watch a game and see because you can put together a highlight reel and make a person look bad. And I kind of watched a little bit and I was like, you know what? It's not as bad as that highlight reel look, but there is an issue there. There
Mhm.
definitely is an issue there.
I never
But
paid
yeah,
attention to that.
I kind of picked up on that. And one thing that the only criticism I have of Audie Cook is a lot of the times I don't see her rebound numbers where I would like.
Mm.
That's the only that's one of the very few criticisms I have of her. It's just I don't always see her rebounding stats where I feel like they should be, what I feel like she could do. That's just me being nitpicky, but that's just how I feel about it. I'm sorry.
But also, when you averaging 30 something a game and they just throwing the ball down to you down low and you not missing a lot, it's also like the numbers may not be where they need to be just because you're not missing a whole lot for real, for real.
Mm-hmm. Because like this
So
year, she's averaging right at 27 a game, but only 7.5 rebounds. And I know I say only, but I'm like, you are the your footwork is immaculate, and you
it
are a
is.
space eater.
It is. Like
And it's like,
her footwork is where we want what's the old girl that went to that Chicago drafted? Not
Angel Reese?
Angel. No,
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 not
no.
Angel.
From South Carolina. The
Yeah,
Brazilian girl, the tall
yeah,
one.
but that's what her Audie
Yeah,
footwork is where we want her footwork to be. Because if she
yeah.
had Audie footwork, she would be a dog down low.
Be a
A
freaking
dog.
monster, bruh.
Because
She
she
would
got
be
the size,
so
she got the height, the
she
hands, the
would
length,
be
the
scary as
size. Because she's not as
Cardoza.
stocky.
Camila Cardoza.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Camila Cardoza.
She's not as stocky
Yeah,
as Audie, so she moves a little better. But if she could get that footwork, oh, and
no,
she's
bro.
been working on it over in China and who she's been working
Yeah,
with. So
she
hopefully
she
it's
really
better
has.
this season.
Because I did see like there was a couple of highlights that I saw from her playing overseas
Hey, when she had to
where if
guard that
she
tall girl, that 7'6",
that
that girl
seven,
was like that 7 foot like three or whatever
bruh,
Chinese girl. She defended her very well.
bro, let me tell you something. That girl got good footwork. And now
The
that's one thing
Chinese
I will say about
the
the
Chinese
Chinese.
girl.
They're gonna make sure
Yeah,
your
yeah.
fundamentals are down pat. Because Yao Ming was the same way. But no, I saw a couple of highlights from Camilla from overseas. If she catches it deep enough, she like had like a little drop step move to where she just
Mhm.
power dribble, boom, body, and go up with it. But it's if she catches it deep enough. But my thing is in the W, you're not gonna have a chance to catch it that deep because these ladies are stronger. So you're gonna
Mhm.
have to catch it away from the basket and make a move.
Is catching it either back down, turn, spin, or face up.
Right.
It get into the cup.
It's
So
it's it's little things like that, and it's certain.
that's the one thing I
It's
like about watching Unrivaled. I see a lot more of
mhm,
that than catching it deep in the post.
yeah.
Um, I've
And I
watched a
talked about
lot.
them last week because I finally figured out their fucking like I kept forgetting how their schedule works. And I
That's
wrote it
weird.
down to make sure I made a point to tell everybody
I
last week.
believe
It's
it's just the
Friday through
weekend.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Friday through Monday. Because I knew it was
So
on the weekend at some point, but I couldn't remember when. But it's
I like
Friday
watching
through
them.
Monday. Yeah,
It's good. It's good ball. I think sometimes it look better than the WNBA, in my opinion. Like
it.
sometimes.
I want to say it was last week is when I finally like I was like, no, I gotta remember when they're scheduling, so I need to like write this down, set an alarm, and everything else to make sure because I kept forgetting when they play with. And I was like, they got a set schedule. How come I can't never remember it? But yeah, I took care of that last week. But they are Friday through Monday on TNT, TBS, like the Turner
And
Family, and
true.
HBO Max, if I'm not mistaken. But I
Yeah.
know if you look at the Turner networks, and I believe it's HBO Max, is where you can find Unrivaled Friday through Monday.
Yep. I'm looking at it right here. TNT, True TV, and then HBO Max.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
but it's
enjoyed watching
Friday through
them.
Monday.
I've definitely enjoyed watching them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else we got. NBA has been interesting. Jimmy tore his ACL, done for the season.
Bruh, that was just. I was like, damn, man, like that hurt. And I'm not even a Golden State fan like that. Like, but just as a basketball fan, that
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, yeah. And to see
That
what
hurt.
Golden State's been doing. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that play that's I'm gonna tell you though, Jimmy getting hurt is gonna be interesting now with Kaminga because do they
Man,
trade Kaminga or do you keep him now? Because now you need
bro,
another score.
that was the biggest thing that, like, to me,
That's what I
made
got
the
from it.
whole Kaminga thing even more interesting.
Because now, do we trade Kaminga for like for pieces that help us out because we're missing Jimmy, or do we
And the
keep
other thing
Kaminga
is
now because we're missing Jimmy?
you you can't really find a trade partner if you wanted to, even, let's just say, out the box. If you were swinging for the fences and you had to include Jimmy in a trade to get a certain player back, you can't even really include Jimmy in that trade now
Nope.
because he just got hurt. I
So
could
you
see if he was
definitely
set to return or something,
you don't even so you're gonna be missing him all this season and possibly at the beginning of next year,
possibly part of
maybe.
next year. Exactly. So it's
So
like that's gonna be hard, bro. That's gonna
if
be
I'm
really
Kaminga,
hard for them
I
to
ain't gonna
do.
lie, I'm sitting back now like, so you need me now. Oh, so now you need me.
Hey, but
Yeah.
if I'm him also, I would be like, you know what? This is my time to shine. Either this
Oh
is my
yeah.
time to convince them that they need to fucking pay me, extend me again, or this is my time to shine where it's like, look, I need to ball the fuck out so y'all can get me the fuck out of here. Either way,
Whether it's
you got
now
the
or
ball out
losses.
right now.
Oh yeah. This is time to turn up. Definitely it's time to turn up.
Big time. And it's like, bruh, like there's no more excuses or anything. They actually need you because one of their key players, one of their star veterans, is out at the same kind of position that you play, that you can play.
Hmm.
It's time to it should get off the pot, big dog. Should get off the pot. That's the way I see it. And I really hope he shows up and shows out. But with that team right now, they're in eighth right now. They're still sitting in eighth, a game and a half behind Minnesota, and it's effectively a game and a half behind the Suns for sixth, and a game and a half behind the Lakers for fifth because they're also um
Question.
at 9 games back.
Are you worried about OKC with Jalen Williams being shut down for the season as of right now?
Kind of not really.
I
Kind of
felt
not
like it
really.
was I felt like it was interesting when I seen it because I was like, hmm. Like he's a key piece to that team. But I'm like, they have so many other pieces that it's like, is it gonna affect them? Excuse me. Is it gonna affect them to the point that it like right now they up 88-72 on Milwaukee. Um it's so crazy that this game load management has been so crazy. Because for
They say
somebody
he's gonna be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
yeah, I think as of right now it was a shutdown. Then they're gonna look back at it.
Yeah.
It's
So
a weird injury.
he just got back like a
He
couple
only
of
been
weeks
back for about
ago.
3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, and now he's shut down for the next 2 weeks, and they're going to be reevaluating him in 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. So it's like, because I'm watching that game right now at the corner of my eye, like I got it on. I'm just not like paying that close attention. But it's like when I saw that the other day, I was like, he just got back though,
Yeah.
and now he's out again. But it's weird because if you remember when they had that crazy run to start the season, he was out. He came back like at the tail end of that run, and that's when they started falling off. When they was like 6-6, or they had that 5-5 stretch or whatever, and they ended up losing like out of the last like 15 games or so, 20 games, they've lost 7. So it's like they've had a shitty run the last few weeks since he's been back and been healthy and been playing more. Now
Hmm.
that he's out again, some people are thinking, well, they could just return to form. Maybe, maybe not. Like you gotta account for chemistry
Yeah.
in the way
But
certain lineups
also
play
some of
together
those
and
players
stuff.
that they were missing last year that got hurt are back this season and they're stepping
Hmm.
up. So it's like Jalen. That's why I said him being gone is he's a key part to their offense, of course, and their defense and
Hmm.
what they do as a team. But there's so many other players that they have that have been stepping up. Chet definitely needs to step up more. Mhm.
Yeah, because you had like Chet does his thing, but then you've also had like
Come on.
um what's his name? Case and Wallace step up, AJ Mitchell.
Mason Wallace. AJ Mitchell was the one I was more talking about.
Yeah, Wallace and Mitchell have really like said those two to me have been the standouts that have stepped up so far out of all the backups on that squad this year with Williams being out. It's been Wallace and Mitchell. Is what I've kind of like with that those are the two that pretty much stick out to me. Um, but it's just like the way that team has depth and the way they're more what up, little homie? That those are the ones that I see, and this is why I said San Antonio gave them fits. Is because San Antonio has the perimeter defenders
Man, I love
to
I
play good defense on OKC and put the clamps on them and give them fits.
it's so strange for me to say this, but I really like San Antonio. I've hated them for years. And I love the young pieces that they have. Wemby, damn, I always draw blanks, so I gotta start thinking of names. But I like that team though. I really like that young
Bro, let me tell
Spurs
you
team with the
something.
head coach. It's
Last
it's hard to
last
hate them.
last night they had the Rockets by I think as many as 16, and the Rockets end up coming back, and it was crazy because like I was telling Gresh as we doing the show, like I was flipping. I had NXT on for a little bit, and then I realized the game. I was like, wait, let me put it on the game. So I put on the game, and I'm like, damn, man, the Rockets getting beat up again by the Spurs. And every time I look over at the TV, I'm seeing a different score towards like the fourth quarter. And then I looked up, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not 82-81. That's 92-91. I'm like, whoa, wait, they done came back, and it was one of those things where I saw them like getting stops and coming back, but I wasn't like focused, like locked in on the game. They just so happened to come back, and it was mainly because Reed Shepard had went off and Shingun had a good game. KD had an okay game, but it was mainly
He's
Reed
been
Shepard and Shingun. Since Shingun been back healthy, that's when
it's
they
crazy
started playing
because
better.
the nights where I expect KD to come out and drop like 25, he's been dropping like 17, 18. And then
Hmm.
I'm starting to realize we're getting to that point, especially for like us, more or less. Because once Braun, you got Braun, KD, Steph,
Hmm.
who is it? Even Levine and them are in that realm a little bit. Like we're getting to the point that this is might be the end of that. Like, I mean, of the new stars, of course, because there's a huge gap between like the LeBron, the KD, the Steph, the somebody else, and then you get Giannis. You got Giannis, Cat, not Ant. Ant's a lower because he ain't been.
Yeah, you got.
But
Yeah, I know exactly where you go because you got like those certain like star brackets or age brackets
yeah,
of stars,
more the age of the stars. But it's like
and the crazy part about it
Harden.
was,
Harden's the other one.
yeah,
Kawhi.
exactly. KD was 7 out of 12 last night and had 18 points, but it was those 7 assists that he had that really like
And that's what I
fed
like is that
everybody.
they're finding ways to do like LeBron. He understands like, man, I ain't gotta come out here and score 25, 30 or more. I could do it, but
Hmm.
unless I'm needed to do it and the game calls for it because I got the matchup to do it, Luca's gonna give me 30. AR is gonna come
Yeah.
in and give me 25 to 30 now. I can get more assists and rebounds. He's more in that magic role now where I ain't
Hmm.
gotta score a lot. I can facilitate, even though Luka's going to run the offense, I can still kind of come down and facilitate also. So it's good to watch them now because even Steph is at that point where I'm not going to score 30, 35. I can when the matchup calls for it, but
Mhm.
now I'm getting the assists. I'm getting the little rebounds here or there. I'm doing
I
the
can be a
the
decoy
stuff that's
sometimes.
not, yeah, that's not on the stat.
Mhm.
Now he's going to be called to score more because Jimmy's gone. But it's it's great to see them do that. Harden, same thing. There's a lot of nights where Harden has more rebounds and assists than he does points. But then those nights where he got to bust 25 to 30.
Mhm.
Same thing with Kawhi. Kawhi's had his nights where he's had the strong double double or triple double. So it's amazing to watch them transition to a different style of game and still be impactful, but also realizing that we coming to the end. We probably in the next 3 to 5, a lot of them, the top elite stars are gone, and it's now that new class
Mhm.
of
It's
top
gonna be
elite
taken
stars.
over.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like our vets are going to be 6, 7 years in the league now.
Yeah.
Like our
And
real star
it's
vets.
crazy to think about it, but like you have it and it's cyclical and you get those cycles of stars that come in and come out every year. And you see it change over time. And if you watch the games and pay attention long enough, you'll see where guys come in and they have their shine, they have their run, and then they're out of the league. And then it's now with somebody
Mhm.
else coming up. And it's just one of those things where you have to constantly evolve and pay attention to the game because like the game has changed in a few different ways since I started watching it and really focusing in and pay attention to it.
Mhm.
And the style of the game has changed, the way the game is covered, media, like everything about the game. And just if you look at just what goes on that 94 by 53, like just that has changed itself. Excuse me. But it's like, just to see those stars come in and out of the league and constantly cycle in and out, it's cool to see because also you see the game itself evolve and you see like back in the day it was more like paint based and paint oriented. Now it's more perimeter oriented, and the fast break is still like a major part of the game and getting open shots and stuff like that. That's still a part of the game, but it's just like sometimes it changes the way and it morphs and stuff like that. And where you saw teams like back in the day, like the '80s Nuggets or the Mavericks or the '90s, the early '90s, late '80s Warriors with Don Nelson,
Mhm.
those early 2000s and mid 2000s Phoenix Suns and whatnot. Like you saw some of those teams that started bringing some more of that different pace of offense and different style of offense and quick shot offense into the game and whatnot. And like now you see more of that in court. Now that's the norm. Now if you see a team and they have a low post presence, it's like weird. And that used to be the norm.
It
So the
definitely
game,
is now.
yeah, it's just cycled and flipped and everything, and it's cool to see it. But then it's also cool to see guys who like were traditional, quote unquote, like big. Like you see a guy like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant really like about 7 foot tall, but he
Mhm.
plays like a two guard. And then you see a guy like a Wemby that morphs, and he's taller than KD and plays similarly. And it's like what the hell? And then you see a guy
Because
like Jokic,
if you
who's
watch at high school sports now, like I'm looking at it like even watching like some of the local stuff recently.
mm-hmm,
Positionless basketball is a real thing. When you got centers
mm-hmm.
that are coming down, like you just saying, handling the rock, and they're coming down with the twing, dunk, dunk. Like they're
Bro, it
they're
was
bringing the ball down full court now.
yeah, it was a kid. I remember he was like a 7 footer. I can't remember where he went, but I remember watching him play locally, high schooler, and he was the team's best outside shooter. And then I saw another team where their tallest, most athletic player was their point guard, their ball handler or whatever. And sometimes it's like that because that's the skill set that that player has, and that translates to a different level than where they're playing at. Or sometimes you see them with different skill sets and stuff. And like nowadays, we're seeing guys like I was getting ready to say a little while ago. You see a guy like a Jokic who's 7 foot, 280 pounds, but he plays like a point guard.
Yeah.
And then you'll see a guy like Anthony Edwards. who's about 6'2", 225, but he will bully you and get to the basket. So it's like you see different styles of players at different positions and whatnot. And like you said, positionless basketball is such a thing right now to where you just look for, I'm just looking for the five combination of guys I can put out on the court and accomplish this goal. And now it's more or less like when I put these five guys out there on the court and I'm running this lineup, this is what I want to accomplish. Or when I put this lineup, this is what I want to accomplish.
Yep.
So it's more or less like you build your roster and you coach to your style, your system, and the players that you have, but you don't coach to like I need a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Like you don't coach
Nope.
position. You coach for your style of play and what you have in your team.
Yep. As far as like what you like you were saying, like what you want to do, what your
Mm-hmm.
goals are. And it's good to watch because it just shows the advancement and progression of the game. But for some of us older guys, it's like, damn, we ain't nobody down low. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they ain't got nobody down there banging and grabbing rebounds and stuff. So
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is like you can still see some post game, but you may not see it with a traditional 4 or 5 posting up. It may be your two guard that's posting up because he has a mismatch. The guy who's guarding him may be 6'3" and 190 pounds, and he's
which
like
is
6'6",
crazy
230. And he's a solid post. He got good post game, so you give him the ball in the post.
because now we getting 6'7" point guards. Now we not getting 6'2",
Right.
6'3" guards no more.
And then you got some bigs who may be 6'8", 6'9", but you know what? He may not have a post game or this or that or a physical, but he's a stretch. He can step out and shoot a three. Look at fucking Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year. This guy averages like 10 rebounds and at least 2 or 3 blocks a game.
He's like what 6'6", 6'7"?
I think he's like 6'9", maybe 6'10", because he was taller than what I thought he was at first.
No, he is like 6'. You're right. You're right. You're right.
He's like 6'9", 6'10". But you know what? He can step out and shoot a three now because he developed that part of his game because he knew, like, I'm not an inside threat. What can I work on to make me more of a threat on the offensive end? He was like, you know what? If I step out, be able to shoot the ball and stretch the floor, I can help my team more. Like, that's the kind of development and involvement in the game that I like to see, that I'm not going to be the old man yelling, get off my lawn, and I want my old. No, like, enjoy the game how it is and how it's evolving. And that's right now what I'm doing. That's why I love watching the women's game. I love watching the men's game. I love watching both because I love to see how the game is growing and evolving on both ends. So, but yeah, man, this has been a great episode 105.
105.
We'll be back next week for episode 106.
We'll have a Super Bowl matchup. We'll have a
Listen, I want to say it's sometime this week or this weekend when college guys have to declare for the draft or something. I
oh yeah,
can't
so
remember when that date is.
that.
I forgot to look it up before we got on air, but like that date is coming up soon. And so
Yeah,
once we get past that date, then we'll know who's declared and everything else and who's actually going into
better
the fan and so on and so
better eye on where people possibly could go and who might
Right,
draft what. Because then, but
right.
also hopefully by the end of the weekend, a lot more of these coaches openings should wrap up also. By the end of the weekend.
Hopefully, but
Couple,
I
like I
really
said, I
think
think the Steelers and Ravens are going to wait more or less closer to the Super Bowl.
we may have a couple of them that may wait till Super Bowl time or just after before they decide to do something. We're not sure, but I'll say I think we had 4 out of the 10 fields so far. I think we may get at least 2, maybe 3 more this week. I think we might get 2 or 3 more this week. I'm not quite sure. I'm just
I think
saying we might.
it's interesting that the Cleveland job is still open. The Miami job, certain jobs is actually interesting. I understand the Ravens is more on the ownership
Mhm.
side. The Steelers is more on the ownership side, and possibly that Cardinals job. The Raiders one could also. I mean, we know that. And then I think to me like the Cleveland job, the Miami one, some of those other ones I thought would have filled a little quicker. On the Buffalo one is definitely going to be on the ownership side. I like I said, I think that's Joe Brady's job. He interviewed for it today. So I think that one might fill in a day or two between him and Dayball. I just think they just are going to look at who they like more. Personally, I would go with Brady, but it could be reasons that they're not. Dayball and Salah would be an interesting tandem together. I thought Salah and McDaniel also, but I like McDaniel to the Chargers.
So right now we have the Cardinals, Browns, Raiders, Ravens, Steelers, and Bills. Those are the ones that's still open.
All great jobs. I mean, to be honest, I don't think there's a. I mean, if you rank them, of course, you got to. I think Browns and Raiders are clearly at the bottom of that. Miami right above them, and then it kind of like Cardinals from there. But
I would say Ravens and Bills are at the top.
Steelers
You
third.
have NBA MVP. I'm sorry, MVP caliber quarterback.
Yeah,
I would say the next level.
Cardinals might be 3.
It depends, man, because if you look at Cardinals, Browns, Raiders, and Steelers, like you look at the Steelers and it's like, okay, if Rodgers comes back, we got a little something for maybe a year, but then we got to find a quarterback. But it's like we got a defense, we just got to find a quarterback.
Cardinals and Steelers might be about even if Rodgers comes back.
Right, and then with the Cardinals, it's like, okay, can I coach Kyler or are we going to get rid of Kyler?
Yeah. So those are probably 3 and 4. They can interchange. However,
and then with the Browns and the Raiders, to me, I see those as the last ones because it's like
I got Miami
situation. No, Miami already got healthy. Remember from Green Bay?
Oh yeah. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah. So it's like looking at just the openings that's left. The reason why I got Browns and Raiders at the bottom of those rankings is because the quarterback situation is a little less settled. Even though
it's the Browns and Raiders.
You think you may have one with Shador, you're not sure.
I like the Browns though. Like I said, for me,
that defense is ready.
And that's where I have the Browns. I think they could be ranked higher than a lot. They could almost be ranked higher than the Steelers. I mean, if you want to be honest, they could damn near be third because if you get, let's say Shador is your guy, going off of what we just seen from when he started or when he got into the rest of the season, the right coach comes in and you build upon that more. Just
like here, this is another thing that we can do.
I think that's a more interesting. They got a run game now.
Yeah, and if you could at least go, I think Shador went 4-3 this year. So if you could at least go 500 with him, like you got something cooking there. But bare minimum, it's like, okay, we at least know we got a guy that we could pay and he could be our backup quarterback. Like there's something to work with there, basically. There's a little bit more to work with there and a little bit more certainty there than you have with the Steelers.
Because a lot of people are forgetting Nasty Man is still there. You still got Deshaun. So technically, Deshaun really is your starter still, if you want to be honest. Healthy, he's never going to be 100% again. But
no.
Deshaun at what 70, 75 is clearly better than what and I like Shador's development. I think you build upon that. You still got Deshaun. If Deshaun can come in and be very serviceable for you and better than what you had, you still keep Shador and you build upon that development from there.
Yeah, you can still do some stuff with it. There's something to work with there. There's a little bit more of a future there than you have in Pittsburgh. But the situation overall with both is still kind of uncertain. And that's why I say I put those two, the Raiders and the Browns kind of at the bottom. Because with the Steelers, it's like I don't know. It's weird. They're to me, they're all three like kind of close together. But
yeah, and it's little things.
Depends on because like you could if you hit on the quarterback, you off and running.
Yeah,
with the
same thing. Like I said, with the Browns, you easily could. Let's say, like you said, Deshaun or Shador is your guy. Hypothetically, go out and get O-line help. Go out and get more on the offensive side because, like you said, that defensive side Them getting Mason
They're
Graham
ready
last
to
year,
go.
like you have the pieces on defense. It's
Mhm.
let's tweak little things on the offense.
Yep.
Let's get the right coach in here. Then let's tweak the right things on offense as far as that
Yep.
O-line, getting more help receiver wise. You got tight ends. You, like I said, you got the running game now with Njoko and I can never think of the other guy's name. That's the number 2.
Judkins and
It's right there on the tip of my tongue, and I can't.
Quinshawn Judkins and I can't remember the other running, but yeah, they got 2 running backs. They got
That's
Njoku at
really
tight end.
good.
The
Yeah,
only thing I would
so
say, I think they need to shore up like the wide receiver position and like
they got
get some
2
more
tight ends because they got
consistency there.
Fannin.
Oh
Fannin.
yeah, that's right.
So
That's
they just
right. I
need
forgot about him.
receivers.
Yeah.
It's the quarterback room,
Yeah.
figuring that out, and then
Mhm.
adding more receivers, 1 or 2 more receivers. And that Browns team, in my opinion, can definitely compete with what that AFC North has, if not
Yeah.
win it, because the AFC North is in turmoil. So
It's wide.
that's why I say that Browns job is not as bad as people think it is. It's depending on who you are as a coach and your mindset. That job is easy. It's an easy layup job. That
If you
like y'all
can
think the
figure
Cardinals
out
job a layup. I think
if
the
you can
Browns
figure
will.
out if you can figure out how to put points on the board with Cleveland
Yep.
and just find somebody to curate. You don't even have to babysit. It's just curate the defensive side of the ball. You gonna be at least 10-7 next year.
Listen,
You could be 9-8 next year with that team.
and that could win that
I think.
division. And the way that division is,
You might. You don't know.
because people are like, to hear the Ravens fans talk so highly of their team, they clearly have the best team in the division. Let's be honest. When healthy,
Mhm.
but it's a lot of turmoil there because there's questions about why y'all not drafting wide receivers. Why are wide receivers coming to play with Lamar? Like, you know what I mean? Why are
Then
wide receivers
you got
asking to come there?
your tight ends keep getting hurt, but they're showing up. Like Likely
Likely could be
Likely was
I
a
think he's a
great
free
draft
agent.
pick.
He's a free agent.
Exactly. And
So
it's like he's gonna want to get paid.
he's going somewhere. He might go to New York. He might go.
Then you have to also wonder like can Derrick Henry keep it up? How long can Derrick Henry keep this up?
They about to lose Lindenbaum. I think Lindenbaum is a free agent. He's key. A lot
There's
of teams said Howie is I've seen what they said the Eagles are highly interested in Lindenbaum if he is gonna hit the market and not get re-signed by the Ravens. Especially with what we were missing at center this year. So
hey, let me tell you something. It's gonna be an interesting off season.
it's gonna be fun. So fun.
It's gonna be real fun.
It's already fun.
There's some teams that are so close
because that
that
coach
if
matters.
they make a couple of moves here and there, they can really bounce back and have a tremendous turnaround. And we saw it like this year with the Bears. We saw it
man. With the Seahawks.
With the Seahawks. Like we saw these teams go from, picking top 10 or so in the draft damn near to like making the playoffs, making the, division round championship game. Yeah. So it's like it's not impossible. The fucking Patriots drafted 4th overall last year.
I'm about to say, and look at their turnaround.
Like, come on. Like they're
about to be in the Super Bowl.
It's definitely possible. And you need a combination of spending the cap space that you have, especially if you have a lot of it, wisely, and drafting right. And finding
Patriots
the right.
are going to be so interesting this offseason too.
Finding the right coaching staff and everything that can go with your front office to combine them to like find the right formula of players and everything else that can get you some wins and whatnot. And they've definitely done that. And it's just going to be interesting to see who's the next team or two that's going to go from missing the playoffs to making the playoffs next year. And then conversely, who's going to be the team that made the playoffs this year that's going to miss out on it next year?
Or a team that made the playoffs and they just going to get over the hump to get where they need to go.
I know one team for sure that made the playoffs last year that everybody thought was going to make it again this year, the Kansas City Chiefs. Like
those injuries were so key for them.
The Detroit Lions,
them bringing Bieniemy back,
that can help them out.
Them going to get another high draft pick again.
That's definitely going to help them out.
like the Chiefs are one of them teams. Like Mahomes coming back healthy next year, it's gonna be scary. Depending on what the Ravens do, the Lions, the Bills, like these top teams that were
Mhm.
not there this year, 9 times out of 10 are probably going to be back next year, possibly. So it's
Yeah.
like, what are these lower teams going to do to stay there to
Mhm.
continue knocking these top teams back down? You
Yep.
know, we're looking at a Washington team that needs to add a couple pieces, but they could be right back where they were from last year.
'Cause they're another team that had some injuries that slowed them down this
A
year.
Dallas team that it seems like
Mhm.
they're figuring it out again with Schottenheimer,
Mhm.
and they might be able to get over that hump that they've been missing, or even making the playoffs, but
Right.
still getting over that hump. So it's going to be very interesting this offseason to watch pieces move around, because that George Pickens piece is big for them, whether they keep him or not. I think they need to. And this is even coming from somebody that's a division rival. Like, them keeping Pickens is key to that offense and what they can do with Dak, what they can do with the run game, what CD is able to do in general, because it helps CD out so much having Pickens. So
Yeah, he definitely had a good year this year,
he want to
even
go, and
though
he said he don't mind going back to I think he said Pittsburgh to play with DK. He wouldn't mind coming to
because
us
the
to play
thing
with
is,
AJ.
he knows that if I have another dog on the other side, I'm more productive than if
I
people
love
just
him.
focus on
I'm
me.
not gonna
And
lie.
it's
I
like
would
I
love him.
want to get paid, but at the same time, I know that I can keep more of my check and earn more of it if I have another dog on the other side.
Because
So it's
now
like,
my stats, I'm gonna
yeah,
get that
finding
incentive
that
money.
happy medium, finding that
Yup.
happy medium is where he needs to be at.
Because the crazy thing, I love it. I love that he wanted to come to Philly. Him, AJ, and Vontae, bro, that would be amazing. Because we don't have a number 3, so him or Vontae easily would slide to 2 and 3. Hell, in some games, AJ is a 2 or 3. You know what I mean? It just depends. Like, that would be, the rich keep getting richer. I can only dream, but it was beautiful to see that that was one of the destinations that he had on his list if he isn't to return to Dallas. So
Yeah, but like again, it's gonna be interesting to look at. But that is the show for this week, y'all. Episode 105 of Sucio Sports. We'll holler at y'all next week for episode 106. We'll definitely have a Super Bowl preview going. So next week, episode 106, we'll holler at y'all later. I need
still
some
from
more
Houston.
water.
Still from Houston.